Yeah, the firing lanes on this are freaking
Uh,
everywhere. Like, I was setting up, and when I was setting it up, I was I'm like looking at all them, and then I'm playing the game, and I've come.
welcome to Hot Dice Stream. Sorry we're late. We've just had to start without Ben because he's not here, our commentator. His mic's just not working. Instead we have Rich on the blower. Say hi, Rich.
Hi, Rich.
Hi, thanks, mate. Just going to stand in for Ben because he's in the Wales chat, so that's what qualifies. So anyway, enough from me. On the left here we have Simon. You're going to be playing Imperial Knights, Simon, is that right?
Yeah, Imperial Knights, Noble Lance.
Yep. Just going to say, this is before the big points drop, isn't it? Because the way our league cut-off happened.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's going to be a bit... It's probably quite frustrating for you. You want to play with a lot of big knights, I guess.
Trying to not read... I'm trying not to build new lists. I want to make sure I know these current rules, isn't it?
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, it's just a bit of weird
those
time.
league cut-offs are a bitch,
Yeah.
especially with the way the rules are changing so quickly. And also, pre-nerf, we've got Death Guard from Rich here on the right. Hi, Rich.
Hi, Rich.
How you doing, mate?
I'm alright.
I say pre-nerf, they've not been nerfed. They should have probably been nerfed.
It's coming, just patience.
Yeah,
Patience. Good things come to those who wait.
I'll have to live with. We'll all have to live with it, unfortunately. But basically, what we've got up on here is, if I can bring it up, actually, is the missions rule and the what's the word I'm trying to say? And the lists. There we go. So the mission's going to be hidden supplies, but these are the new decks.
Yes.
So hidden supplies has changed quite considerably. So it used to be dead easy with.
It was
it
was an additional. It was the mission card. It wasn't the primary mission.
That's right.
It was the mission card.
Well, they've split the two objectives in the centre. So on the screen now, you're looking. Okay, I'll bring that up now. On the screen now, you'll see the WTC map, which got updated this week. Finally, they've actually rounded off all the numbers. So all of the numbers now don't have like 0.5 or point whatever it was before. But they haven't updated it to have separated objectives. So on the centre it's just got one, but that will be two, and you'll see that when we show you what the players have done later. It's quite a bit harder to score this now on 15 because you don't get anything for your home, do you?
Well, no, you do for hold more.
You get more.
It does contribute to the hold more aspect.
Yeah.
Simon won the roll off and split the objectives towards the way they've been split.
Let's have a look. So he split them so they're well, not quite in the open.
They're more in cover. There's more. You could tow it the other side through the terrain by a touch, but this way you can hold more from behind the terrain.
Okay.
But
all right. Which is probably a bit of an advantage for the Death Guard, maybe. Yeah, I'd say so.
I'd say so, yeah.
A little bit. So yeah, that's. Sorry, I forgot. I transitioned that over. So yeah, that's the map as we're looking at it. We've got the new mats out, which is looking really nice, and then the new Welsh community objectives, which look they really pop on there actually, don't they? They look really nice. Really happy with those. So yeah, in terms of the mission, the hidden supplies mission, it's quite a bit harder to score the 15 because you're not getting anything for your home unless it's for more. So you will be fighting over those midfield objectives a lot more than you used to. Because I used to just sit on
the fact there's 4 of them.
4 helps.
It's you can pretty much get the hold 1, hold 2. It's the hold more that matters. There really, because if your opponent's on 2 as well, and they're home, you're equal. But it's the hold more.
Yeah.
That's the challenge through the game.
Yeah.
Especially when I've got no OC compared to
pre-nerf nights.
Well, it wasn't nerf, was it? It was. I don't know what you call it.
Yeah, you're right. I would call it nerf. Nerf's incorrect. So
For Imperial Knights, it is not a nerf.
It's not.
It's the same
They've had a huge
rule
buff.
set with slightly tweaked.
You have to go with the big knights, don't you, to get the benefit?
You do. And it looks like a lot of people are playing with all big knights at the moment.
I've got a 5-knight chaos list.
I think they're going to climb down from that. They're probably going to change their mind about that eventually. But for now, it seems to be...
I've seen a few reports and look like the big knights are just
They
stomping.
won the local RTT.
Yeah.
They won
Sorry.
the NWC.
Sorry, Rich, what are you saying?
It'll take a while for the meta to catch up with the new build for knights, I think.
It will. I think everyone's got very excited with the new meta, gone 5 big knights immediately. But I think they'll climb down, and eventually it'll be like more big knights, but not all big knights.
No,
because you
don't
lose
go
one.
up
There'll be
Five.
War Dogs. War Dogs will reign supreme.
Yeah,
You do.
yeah. Because you can get the 14 War Dogs now, right?
15. Yeah, 14.
15, yeah, you have 14.
Yeah.
Which is what, 196 wounds now to chew through, T9. I love it. Anyway, so I've just got your list up on the screen, Simon. Could you just walk us through what you've got and the choices you made when you were building the list, please?
Yeah. Well, Canis Rex, 5 Warglaves with melters,
Yeah.
4 Helverins with stubbers. I got the Immolator, Battle Sisters, which are going to split into 2 units. So one's going to start in the Immolator, one's going to just start on the board.
Okay.
And the Calidus. I guess the main motivator for the list was just what I had. It was like I bought the Christmas box set, so I had the big one and 4 little ones, and just bought some more, armages to make up, and then fill the list with other stuff. You know what I mean?
Well, that Calidus assassin gets about.
Yeah.
Let's just say
Yeah,
that.
so I had that already.
Bitch.
In these singles.
Bitch.
It was like get some knights and then beg, steal, and borrow the other stuff. Like.
Okay, well, it'll be interesting to see how this list changes when the new rules get implemented in the league. That's for sure. Okay, so Rich, just walk us through yours. This is slightly more complex.
Death
Only
Lord's
slightly.
Death Lord's chosen Death Guard. Everything is based around the Terminators, so
Yeah.
the rest of the list has all got synergy with one another.
So tell us about your detachment then.
So the army rule is in my opponent's command phase. I roll 2d6. On a 6 or less, they take d3 mortals. If they're below half strength, they take on a 7 or less. They take d3 mortals.
Yeah.
I played a game the other day. I forgot it the whole time. I played a game against Steve. I used it once.
It's a pretty big rule, yeah.
And when I'm not using it, I'm the master of rolling low. So.
Oh!
Oh, hello. Sorry,
to
someone
roll
just
the
came in and shouted in my ear. I assume.
I finally managed to, on the third device,
six,
managed to get in.
Half strength.
Hi Ben, Ben's our commentator.
I when I
Hello.
see the rule, I'm like, I can roll low.
Only took
I
3
can roll
different
really
computers
low.
to get it to work.
But with the new Death Guard dice,
Discord had an unfortunate time.
they're so
with that update,
spiky.
but,
I can
people
see
waiting
there's
eagerly
rolls
in
where
the
I'm going,
wings, but thankfully
oh my
they've stuck
god, that's
around,
golden,
so
and then I
that's
look at them
cool.
again, it's like, all right,
We've
okay.
just gone through Reese's list. Oh god, we have
Got a
cat.
pretty cat.
Oh god. So Reese's
It's
list.
all go tonight,
Richard.
isn't it?
It's all go.
Richard,
Luckily, we've had Steve in to do our tech, so in the nick of time, he
Oh.
managed to get an internet connection
Well.
piled in.
That explains why it's all going wrong then.
Yeah, there's-
Steve was doing it.
two drones with mowers. There's 3
Hang on,
drones.
Rich.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. It's because we can hear you when you're talking. So, yeah, what I was going to say is, on your list, it's the you've still gone for the Death Lord's Chosen, which is for the Mortal Wounds bomb, but it's kind of just got all the toys that you want, right? So it's got the Mythic Blight Haulers ×3, float drones ×3,
2
with the heavy.
two mowers, 3 heavy blight
wow.
launcher.
Okay. 12 Death Shroud Terminators. So
6, 3 and 3. They've
Yeah.
all got a leader.
so if you don't have a solution for one, then
And my defiler.
you're in trouble. And you have got a Defiler, which is now based, which is great.
And it fits around the map, so I've not discovered any hindrances with moving it. If anything, I gained the ability to not use pivot. I don't have to pivot because it's a round base,
Yeah.
which you lost it's only got an 8-inch movement, so essentially it was only ever moving 6 with a pivot because it had to pivot wherever it moved. But yeah, now it doesn't have to pivot. Can we carry on deploying?
Let's start deployment. So did you do a roll off?
Yeah, Simon won and I am defender. I think
Someone and you had
I think
you
it's
started
you.
the deployment.
Yep.
Yeah, it's on you
We're
now,
waiting for the
Si.
commentators to join.
Okay. What have we put down? 1, 2.
I've got 6 Death Shroud with the Lord of Contagion in Deep Strike, and I've got Typhus with 3 Death Shroud in. They're all off the board.
Right.
Typhus is my Warlord, which obviously matters for this matchup. He's going to be a coward and hide all game.
Good. Just look at the map here. Let's have a look at the tabletop. Let's actually bring this camera, live action camera. We've got, what's that down there? That is a float drone with
That's the mower drone, one of my kit bash
a
drones.
spawn. Yep, nice.
Won't put them down.
And another one over there. But is that a heavy one? Or
No,
spawn
that one. Which one?
in the centre.
Oh, in the centre is the heavy blight launcher.
Heavy blight one.
There's another 2 to come.
then we've got, looks like 2 Helverins in the bottom there, the 3rd one at the back, another one hiding behind the terrain over there. So it's all Helverins.
Take it your
at the
intent is
moment.
not to be seen down that line there, yeah?
That's the idea.
That's the intent, yeah.
What am I looking at out there? Okay, so are they different colours here, Simon? Can you point at what's on the table there, so we can...
Okay, so at the moment we've got Helverin, 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 Warglaive, Warglaive,
Okay, so 2 Warglaives, both
And that's
front on the left and the
Yeah.
right flank, or...
and
Yeah,
then
so it's hammer
I've
and
got 3 in
anvil deployed.
reserves.
Is that one down now, yeah?
He's down, yeah.
Yeah. I'll go for another heavy blight launcher drone. You've got the anti-fly boys over there, haven't you?
These
Okay.
drones just have such an immense threat projection.
Yeah, he's got the anti-fly though with
He
the.
has got anti-fly. That's going
Yeah.
to come clutch, actually.
Oh yeah, this is not a favourable matchup in my mind.
I hadn't thought of that, actually, because those blood drones are basically the backbone of your army, right?
Not this list, no.
No.
The list is the detachment. All of the stratagems are based around Terminators,
Yeah.
so the drones actually don't get any benefit from that. So the Terminators are what does what I want it to do. That's just shooting and to keep people honest.
Right.
The threat of an uppy downy Lord of Contagion with 6 Death Shroud, if they're not in engagement range at the end of once per game, that is end of opponent's turn. But yeah, the Death Shroud are what the list is more about. Terminator, Stank Shock.
Okay. Great.
It's on you, mate. I just put
Wait, did you put down, did you?
I put one here.
Oh, right.
That's the.
What are
yeah.
you thinking, Ben? How do you think this is going to go?
That one as well.
Oh, I've changed.
The corners, yeah.
I moved 10 as 10, yeah.
Are you with us, Ben?
I can basically get.
Yes, I'm still here, but apparently I'm very, very, very loud. So I was
I have edited that down a little bit. Oh, there we go.
talking.
To hear it,
I was
Yeah.
trying to stop
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
until you saw the message,
I've seen it. I've seen it.
just so I didn't deafen people.
There's 5 sisters in there, yeah.
We're good.
In that one, yeah.
Good. There we
And
go.
then my last drone.
I can actually participate again
Nice.
because I've got the new microphone, which is obviously very good compared to my old microphone where you used to have my settings turned right up.
Yeah. Well, you're using all those, AI programs to augment your voice to give yourself more authority and that kind of thing. So it's quite intense. I had to turn you down.
No, absolutely. So yeah, so obviously I finally made it. So I'm just catching up on where we're at. See, this is Simon playing the old Knights points and lists. So I'm sure you've covered that already.
Yes. Yeah, we have. But obviously, you're an expert in the knights, so it'd be good to have your insight on how you think this is going to change, if at all. And actually, with the fact that it hasn't changed, maybe that's a good thing in this matchup, because the temptation to take the big knights is gone.
It's higher toughness
Yeah, I mean, I
to me,
think
though.
I prefer the big Knights with some Helverins as it stands at the moment.
And there's more of them.
I do think that the new big Knights are very powerful. Four particularly can be quite nasty. 5 can be pretty crazy in some matchups, but I do like the utility of a few small Knights knocking around, especially in the current meta with how many dangerous units are out there with fly. This matchup's a perfect example with drones, and having that anti-fire 2+ is a pretty nice tool. So I think Simon's probably not too disappointed to be on the old Knights list this round. He's got a decent matchup.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's something I've not actually considered about when you're trying to make a list, for WTC, for whatever teams event you're planning. How do you deal with Death Guard? It's a burning question. Well, how to do is these Helverins of the anti-fly, how to deal with the bloat drones. It's trying to multitask, but my cat's attacking me.
Problem with Death Guard is -1 save or wherever they especially with melee and things. -1 to the save is brutal.
Can be for knights, but I mean, where's the damage coming from? Do they need the -1 save here? I don't know. I mean, sorry? This Rich has gone -1 save, just so we know. Okay. And what's the strength on those Death Shroud strike? 8. Ah. Oh, sorry, I had you muted there, Rich. What were you saying?
They're strength 8.
The strength 8.
Yeah.
Which obviously these are the old Helverins, so these are actually T.
I'd like to say, give me a T9 Helverin and I'm wounding it on freeze.
Yeah, that's
with the Lord of
point.
Contagion brick, that is.
Okay.
It's,
Yeah, I think
prefer a T9
what's
one.
interesting is I'd say it's probably 50-50 whether you take
I've
minus
done that.
armor
You're
save
done,
or +1 weapon skill and ballistic skill for Death Guard into knights here. I think I understand why Richard's gone for the armor save. I've played this map up into it a few times. And I think in the back of his mind is that he can push big knights to 6+ armor saves. He can even, with stratagem use, get them to not have an armor save, which is pretty powerful. But if everything's dead before you get into combat, it doesn't really have an impact. So I think that would be the big question: is can he force the amount of armor saves he needs to?
Oh, and we've got they're getting straight into it. And what was the roll off?
I got a 1 and Simon got a 2, so Simon goes first.
Simon goes first. It's Imperial Knights to go first. Brilliant. Interesting. So 1.
What are we doing? Do you want to randomise it on this, Simon, or do you want to draw
I
cards?
mean, whatever you do on that, if you want.
Yeah, they are. I'll just pass that over when you want to do it.
Is it set to go, yeah?
Yeah, just I've got the cards here to read.
For the missions, but unfortunately I haven't had time to play test them live yet.
Well, we can fill it in while we're running it, but that's just for personal record.
No, it's fine. It's fine. We'll definitely have it for next time.
I've got cards for just double checking rules.
So, sabotage and cleanse.
Sabotage, cleanse.
Sabotage,
Nice.
cleanse.
Oh, I've got 2 scout moves to make.
Some scouts, yeah.
What do we do with this?
Sabotage and cleanse, not a bad.
You,
I mean, if you're knights, you want to get those actions out of the way early with your little knights.
Josh,
So
are you managing that?
being able to
where you are?
potentially pick up if you push these
Sure.
out
On
a
my
couple cleanse points is useful. Sabotage obviously now completes in your turn as well, so it's not as punishing as it was in the previous mission pack where you'd have to commit 2 units and end up not scoring. So nice to have that in your control.
On you say? Sabotage completes at the end of my turn still.
It does. Sabotage is the one that hasn't changed. It's it's actually recover, which has changed. It's a huge boost.
There's a couple of things I like. The new the new bring it down. Kill one, expect for tactical. Kill 1 vehicle and put 4 points. Let's go.
Yeah,
I like that change.
now, yeah.
And I'm actually enjoying. Although I've not always had to have the challenger cards. I am enjoying the challenger cards.
Well, challenger cards. What can I say? I'm not a big fan.
But that's because you smash most people you play.
But the WTC has ruled that challenger cards are legal this year, even for the World Championship. So
I can do sabotage there, can I?
You need to be wholly outside your deployment zone. That's the only.
Yeah.
That's the only thing for it. Obviously, you can do it in mine or you can do it in yours. Or mine or no man's land. Sorry.
Yeah, that was for the cleanse.
okay. So is he positioned well here to do some cleanses? Does he really want to start putting play pieces out at this early stage? I think there's a nice easy one there in the centre, thanks to the positioning of those objectives. Obviously in this you are rolling off, because it's hammer and anvil, you roll off to see which direction those 2 central objectives go. And Simon won that roll off and chose to put them in the positions they are.
Yeah, looking at the positioning, it does give him the opportunity to just hit obviously those big 8OC armatures on objectives now. Might as well make the most of it while they still have that 8OC. I think into this Death Guard army, now they're on the new codex. It's with that 6-inch drop and charge with the Death Shroud. You can try and take ball position early as knights, but pretty much can dictate where he goes when whatever time he wants to. So I think Simon probably needs to try and close some of the angles down, maybe get out. Those Helverins with Squire's Duty can do some serious damage into the Death
The whole
Shroud
unit doesn't have to be in, does
Terminators.
it?
Pardon?
The whole unit does
Rich
the whole unit
tends
have
to run
to
them
be
in
inside,
small
doesn't the whole
group.
unit have to
So
just
if
be
he can get
inside the
multiple 3 damage
thing to
shots
do-
onto them at
No,
minus
for
minus
sabotage,
one,
so long as it's
awesome
outside of
save.
thingy, you can literally just
Yeah.
have a toe on it there, and you just need to be within,
I think
but just
on
not in your
balance,
deployment zone. That's the only.
Yeah, but he's inside the
Players
no man's land.
hashing out. I was going to say, on balance, I probably, being knights, would have put the objectives the other way, so they were in the open, because the Death Guard can put. To be fair, he hasn't got a lot of. Well, he's got no battle line rich, so he's going to struggle to hold it even behind that wall. Actually, if the Helvin goes.
Yeah. Rich looks very light on the left side of the board with the angled heavy terrain piece. Now I know he has the advantage that he can basically just bring his Death Shroud down where he wants them to be, but this list really revolves around being able to trigger the contagion rain to and afflict units to bring those 6-inch charges down. And depending on how aggressive Simon plays, Rich doesn't have many pieces to push that contagion out early. So you can see that Simon's moving this Helverin up now to sit behind these crates. I think there's one mower drone there, which probably doesn't kill a Helverin in one activation. He's going to actually struggle to deny that primary for turn 2. He doesn't have anything that side of the board now to stop that primary. So I maybe would have expected to have seen a little bit more over that side. Looking at Simon's deployment, I think it was clear he was going to push out early onto the objectives. If he pushes out onto 3 like he has done now, there's a danger that Rich might give up an early 15.
I think so. Yeah.
So cleanse for.
Oh, that was
2?
a quick turn.
Cleanse for 2. Cleanse.
Yeah, so interestingly, I can't see if Simon's got anything on his home objective, and I think while
So I'm just going to
your home objective doesn't score,
what it is, and my
it
mission
can-
More, isn't it?
it can be used for more.
Add it onto there.
So hopefully the players are
Cleanse
both
and
aware
cover
of
horde,
that,
I can't
because
have.
that seems an oversight. but
Attempting target. So
um,
pick an objective and tell me to go and get it.
Rich, could you just? Sorry, yeah. So Rich is going on to turn 2. That's his first turn. And did you draw some secondaries there, Rich?
Cleanse an attempting target. So
Cleanse
you
an
need to pick an
attempting target,
objective
okay.
and tell me to come and get it.
You just have to own it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting.
In no man's land.
yeah, so attempting target is interesting here. I do wonder I mean, if it's Simon, I'd probably that far right objective we were talking about before, where the mower drone is. You'd probably pick that one. I'm not
How
sure.
many how much OC have you
Rich
got on
can
it?
get there.
Just the immolator.
Just the immolator,
Top
which
one,
is
yeah.
how many?
Yeah, the one at the top of your
202.
screen. I mean, looking at that now, I don't think he can kill it in this round. And I'm not convinced he can get enough OC.
And then cleanse.
In fact, I can't see any way, even with the scout, even with the spawn making a miracle charge, and but he still can't get the OC there.
Those immolators, they are 3 OC or 2 OC? Even sorry, he's got a whole.
3 OC,
Okay,
I
you've got
believe, the
you've got
immolators.
a,
So,
big
oh,
in deployment.
I mean,
my God.
there's the giant squig off made an appearance.
God damn it, James! Damn it, Jim! You're a cat, not a
Immolator's
doctor.
two.
I mean, as it stands, Rich is probably quite thankful here because he now has something that can deny the primary turn 2.
Okay.
He's having a long think here. This is a tricky one.
For those watching, that was about the same scale as the new Defiler bases as well.
Cleanse for 1 for 2 points.
He's going to struggle to get that Defiler out, I think.
No, if it's I
Yeah,
think it moves
fortunately,
around the map fine.
It can
Does
climb
it?
over
Yeah.
4 inch for free, but
Moves around the map fine.
it is a big boy.
Okay, so
The problem is, you know where it's going to go because it can only go in so many directions, right? And is it threatening anywhere? That's the question.
I mean, it has a volume of shots, but -1 AP. I mean, it can strip cover, I believe, in Death Guard when it
Yeah.
shoots things. So it has its uses, but looking at the position of the terrain, Simon can quite comfortably kind of sit on these objectives obscured
Cleanse and attack on
and
target.
force Rich to come out. And I just don't think he's going to be able to stop a big primary score here, turn 2, which is going to put him really on the back foot.
Where's the Cladius, Simon?
Just in this corner.
It's in the corner.
She's sabotaging.
Okay, you do know your home objective counts towards hold more, right? That's just so
Yeah.
you
He
know.
has
Okay.
some sisters on it.
You've got some sisters on it. All right, yeah, we couldn't see what was
Oh,
on
there we
so
go.
there are some
Yeah, they
sisters.
just took.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Got it.
Which is useful because that will be sticky now. They do sticky at the end of the command phase, so I presume they were there for deployment. So that gives Simon some more flexibility, which I think that's what Knight play. I mean, certainly I've taken the new Knights for a spin a couple of times now, and while the want that is to take lots of big Knights, I did find myself missing the immolator, missing the sticky objectives from the sisters. So it'd be interesting to see how that meta develops. Hey, do you need sticky objectives when you've got 5 Knights running down the table? I guess that's a whole other question.
They've got TCP now.
Mm-hmm.
So where is he
Yeah,
going to
so
move?
they
it?
can
'Cause
see
not
him.
only has he got to move into position where he's actually going to score something, he's also got to move into position to deny and to kill, and not get killed back. I think those Helverins at the back are probably... I'd be quite scared of them.
Yeah, I mean, I think looking at it again, Simon's, although he's jumped out to take early primary, he also doesn't look like he's got much in a way of denying the spawn on the lower middle objective against Simon. So it might be that both players can pick up some early primary points. It's tempting to put out on these 4 objective middle. Obviously, it's the new format of hidden supplies for this this mission deck. It's quite tempting to push out, but I think into some armies it's probably the worst thing you can do.
This is one of the more closed... I mean, you can see how they've opened up these maps quite a bit. But
Yeah.
this is one of the better ones, I think, in terms of it's easier to hide models on this map than some of the others.
It is, but as you said, for this to be one of the more closed maps, and then you can see those lines of sight almost deployment zone to deployment zone. Two middle like firing lanes running all the way length of the map, lots of big diagonal firing lanes. There's a lot of ways to get angles on these new WC maps. They're very open, which I think makes it more interesting. The staging points are, I mean, most of these maps have good places you can sit and stage in the middle. But again, there's 2. Rich is playing the very light model version of low OC, lots of shooting damage. But how do you play into 8 OC when one Knight effectively out OCs 3 of his units? It makes it very difficult.
I agree, but
And
there
I
are
did-
some good sight lines, especially on that bottom half of the table, I think, because it couldn't help but sit on their terrain and the objective at the same time.
Yeah, I mean these mower drones are. I mean all of these. They're strange. I've witnessed them
Over the top of that.
kill Scarbrand in activation, and I've also watched them only kill 1 Rubik Marine.
To do better.
So they can be quite
This guy.
sporadic in their damage output.
All of his weapons.
Okay, so it's shooting phase. Let's hope to get lucky. We have seen from our very own Rhino Reese that 2 bloat drones have killed Scarbrand in one turn before. So
One drone. It was actually 1 drone did it, which was a little bit silly.
And it'll be 6. Nothing.
Can't see
And
much
then
on
the
that dice tray. Let's just adjust that a
Twin
little
heavy
bit.
bolter. 1 hit.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
he
these
definitely
new
rolled
Death
it.
Guard
It's not
pink
really.
dice that look like Emperor's Children. Very shiny.
And this will be strength 5. So. And then the big blast cannon. 1 + 3. Oh my god.
card. It's nice and betraying him on number of shots here. This is the problem with those D6 number of
So
shots.
they all hit, and it's strength 10, so it'll be 4s. And you've got 3 at -1, but you
Three
do
go
get
through.
cover, so minus nothing.
3s. 1 goes through.
3 damage.
Feel no pains.
So you didn't manage to strip the cover with the Defiler there.
They all go through.
That now cannot benefit from cover.
Sorry.
That,
No, I mean, I'm not
because
sure
that
whether
hit it,
perhaps
that
he
now
could-
can't benefit from cover from anything else.
For
Um,
Yeah,
this
it's
thing,
it's
for
similar to
for
For the
the
rest
unit.
of
The
the,
way-
for the rest of this
the way that
phase.
GW have worded it now is those
this one
units
here's
can't
gonna shoot
benefit
at
from
you.
their own attacks, so they can strip cover everybody else,
3 plus 2.
but not for themselves. Which, I mean, maybe that's intended. Other rules obviously let you select unit at the start of the shooting phase and then get -1 to hit, so or +1 or strip cover, etc. But even more reasons not to take a Defiler, but Rich certainly won't listen to those.
Yeah. Yeah, so 4. So 2 at -2.
Five,
Use
so
5 up.
See if we can get those orange dice to
3
show up on
damage.
this. Those pink dice to show up on
2
here.
go through.
And then the next one, same
Blood drone.
target.
2 go through. It's 4
Four.
shots on this float drone.
Plus 2.
How
Yeah,
many wounds?
just
How many
something.
wounds has that taken now? That
You've got 7 left.
he's got 7 left.
I get to reroll, thank fuck for that.
So it's re-rolls because Lord Virulence.
2 lethals.
2 lethal
Not
hits.
lethal.
Yeah, I think Rich needed that because it was looking like that armature was
4
gonna
at -2.
It's 4.
be fine.
3 each.
3 go through.
3 go through. That's 9 damage.
So
Yeah.
two saves gone.
It doesn't look like
One more left for
Simon
Simon.
went for the iron shields here, so
So-
I presume he's just
Oh, these are the Feel No Pains. It's 2 6s I can see.
He's dead.
He's
Is he?
dead.
looks like he's got
Does he
him.
explode
got him
'cause
to
his
a
spawn
wound.
would get hit?
No, he's dead. I think. That's what they're
Yeah,
saying.
exactly 7. That's what he needed, so he got him to a wound. One more feel no pain would have kept him alive. I was surprised. I mean, Simon keeps him alive there. That does cause Rich some problems. It also
I'll
lets him pick up the 15.
Cleanse
No.
on here. I'll cleanse on here.
But there's no way for that guy to be on that objective and not be shot. That's the problem. The size of that base. So, Rich, sorry.
No, I mean,
I'll cleanse with these spawn, and I'm going to cleanse
really
with
with
these spawn.
this, he's only got the one big knight, and he's way back at the field. So
Unless you've gone
1
to-
CP for iron shields. I'm not sure if Simon did use it or not. If he didn't, perhaps that would have kept it alive. I mean, there was a couple of times he rolled a 4 there that would have kept it on its feet.
Just the charge on that with that drone. What's the charge, please,
Oh,
Simon?
he hasn't scored the cleanse yet, but he's declared the cleanse with this, the spawn behind the building in the centre and at the bottom there.
Yeah,
Now
I've
this
got, I'll
charge-
get 2
Will be-
cleanses off.
6 in charge. Forget
6
to
inch
get-
charge on that
just for the
mower
7,
drone
yeah?
at the top.
So I need a 6,
6 needed.
and I get a
7.
7. Put him in, and I'm going to
Level
tank
number
shot
7.
2.
Rich will be happy to be able to pick up a knight turn 1. He's popping a CP. What's the CP for it?
Tank shock.
For a tank
and
shock.
that was a 5, and it's for 3 mortal wounds.
3 mortal wounds. That'll help.
Feel no pains.
Nothing saves on the Feel No Pains. Good use of tank shock there, I think.
10 attacks, hitting on
Yeah,
threes
I mean,
with lethal.
is it a Helvin or a Warglaive on that objective? I can't.
It's a
can't
Warglaive.
quite. It is a Warglaive. So I mean, Simon
on
does have access to fight on death if he needs it. Perhaps that's why he kept the CP for Iron Shield, so he had access to that. But I can't see the Moadrome killing the knight in this instance. But you never know.
So here we go. This is saves.
One goes through.
Look at that. Only 1 goes through. He's just building up those Feel No Pains. Those failed Feel No Pains. They're going to come back and haunt Rich at some point.
Yep. Your go.
Yeah, I mean, that's it.
It's slightly back.
He's got the 2 CP in the bank. Obviously, Rex has access to a free stratagem per
Gets the hit
turn
back.
as well, so he's building.
Brilliant.
He's
Is
going to
he
have ready
bracketed or
access
anything?
to,
Have I
No.
bracketed him?
Not yet.
to some other stratagems. Looks like he's going to pick up 10 on primary. So
Sure. Sorry, just to do this, Simon, the Imperial Knights, did you complete a sabotage?
He did, yes.
Isn't it at the end of your turn?
It'll
It's
be
the
at
end of Richard's
mine.
turn.
I can't stop it.
He can't stop it, so that would be 3. And did you get tempting target, Rich?
No,
You
I
didn't
get
get.
CP for that one.
Right.
That's
Freeze.
fine. So that's going to put Death Guard on 4 at the top of that.
Reroll 1.
7 at the top of 1. There we go.
And it's strength 10 into
Just hitting
10.
back
9 for freeze.
that armature into
What's that?
the
4 of them. That's not.
mower now.
So that's minus 3
5 up. 1 save.
for each.
Down to 1.
9 damage.
He's down to 1 wound. Wow, I did not see that coming.
I was hoping for a bit more
So
damage.
they have 10, do they? I thought they had 9.
No,
Okay.
10. Toughness 9, 10,
10
wounds.
wounds.
Yeah.
Okay, so how many wounds is he down to?
Mine's down to 7.
7, so he's not even
Wow.
half, is he?
That's a hell of a turn. So,
Your sabotage at the end of my turn goes off, but the assassin has to stay there for it to go off? Or can she come up at the end of my turn?
can you score the sabotage if the assassin comes up? Then she'll come off the table, won't she?
So she won't go to score it.
They both complete at the end of the turn, but what do you think, Ben?
Well, if the workings
Oh,
are
the
both
it's just
complete at
like
the end of the
looking up
turn,
and down,
if
that's
it's
the only
Rich's
difference.
turn, he
I've
gets
got
to
2
decide the
cleanses.
order.
That's right. So, Rich, you get to decide the order.
So
Um,
I've got 2 sabotages, one there as well. 2 cleanses, 2 sabotages.
so yeah, no, 1 sabotage. You only need 1 sabotage.
Oh, is it just, yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
But no, sabotage will
I'll do it
be
together, aren't we?
she can't go up at the end of my turn.
Okay, yeah, Rich has declared against it, so there's no
Yeah.
sabotage on the
Okay.
card, so I'll take that on.
I'm
Cool.
discarding a tempting target, so I'll go to 3 at the start of your turn,
Yeah.
and you'll go to 3 as well. Discard.
So, we're going
So
to
has Simon given up the points to keep the Calidus on the board, then, has he?
You hold 2. You hold.
Or is he going to leave the
Don't hold
Calidus there and
more,
score
though.
the points, which would make
1,
more
2,
sense?
3. I've got
That's a
3.
good question,
you've got
Henry.
3.
Simon, are you taking the Scalidus off or leaving her on to get the points?
I thought he decided. I want to score the points, obviously. So,
So you're going to keep her on?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's decided to keep her on. Okay, I thought he was going to take her
Yeah.
on. Yep.
I mean, I did declare 2, but you know what I mean. To be fair, like
Which one? Yeah.
Because that was the original one I put.
Which one?
I was thinking I had to do 2
No,
to get
no.
max, yeah. But I originally said that one was going to do
Yeah.
thingy first.
Yeah, yeah.
So to kind of, to be fair, I'll keep that one.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
I didn't hear any
Yeah.
others. Like I said, I
Oh,
only
okay,
did
so you
it.
can take her off and still do the sabotage. Okay, fine.
You
Carry on.
can't.
Alright.
That's legal to do that.
No. Sorry,
She's on the
you've
board,
confused
I'm
me now.
scoring
Right,
something.
okay, thank you. You're saying
Let's
2
do that.
units were doing the
You can do your
sabotage.
randomised missions, mate.
Here we go, missions.
Establish
Imperial
locus
Knights turn 2. Locus
behind any lines.
Establish
and
and
behind.
Hold on,
Interesting.
I might reroll the behind.
He's up to 3 CP.
Yeah,
Um,
3.
How many knights does Simon have in reserve?
Uh,
4?
How many attacks? How many knights do you have in reserve, Simon?
I got 3.
He's got 3 in reserve. Warglaives.
3. Yeah. Wondered where the rest were.
That's a good point. I didn't
Display
even
of
notice that.
Display of Might have more
It's
units
really
in
drawn.
More in No Man's Land.
No Man's Land than me. I currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, but he's as good as dead. So I've got 4 currently.
It's the end
Okay.
of the thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
What are the new ones?
Yeah, display of might.
Just 4 shoots going to the midfield where you might not want to. I do like that
So,
one. I do like this secondary.
What have you got? 1, 2, 3, 4 there.
4 currently, yeah.
At the start
Yeah, I
of the
mean,
game.
it's Simon can pick pretty sick, can drop the Calidus somewhere safe in no man's, push another Helverin up, and he'll take it before he kills stuff. And I'd expect he'd pick that drone up. So I think he can score that one without committing too much because Rich has been quite defensive here. But we're going to see
Got more.
I think Rich is setting up for some big Death Shroud drops on his turn. Not sure we'll see a rapid ingress. Don't think he needs to with the 6-inch card. And if Simon pushes out to those spawns on the objectives, he's going to very quickly find Death Shroud in the face in Rich's turn. So
Establish locus. to the centre of the board or within my deployment zone.
So, for locus, yeah. Can you do locus from behind the walls on this new map? That's the question.
On this one, this particular one though, yeah, you can, because 6 is there. You can get it just in the corner.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. So the emulator, I mean, there's not much it can push out and shoot this turn, so probably can just sit there. I think he needs to be careful with his screening here, because if he moves the emulator and pushes out, he might leave a gap for the Death Shroud to come down, which he really doesn't want to do.
No.
He would certainly want to lose Rex to a 6-inch Death Shroud
So
charge.
how many primaries did you get at the end of your command phase?
He
You
held 1, he held 2, but he doesn't hold more.
So
he
he's
gets
on 10. So he's on 17.
I nearly only did 1 cleanse so that I got the thing, but they're both worth 3 points, so there was no different at the end.
It's possible for Simon to build an early lead here, which is probably a good idea.
Yeah, I think he could have picked up the 15 last turn. He needs to be careful now that if he just leaves a Warglaive or a Helverin on objectives, then Richard's going to pick him up. Probably score big primary himself.
I mean, how many? I can't remember how many small bodies there are. There are 9 small knights in this. So by that math, I reckon you could probably.
-1. I killed 1.
Yeah, -1, but there's 9 total. By my math, you could probably afford to lose 2 a turn and still be healthy. End game.
Yeah, quite comfortably.
He's the mower drone.
I think he has been quite
He's gonna
defensive.
charge you if needed, but he didn't need it.
Those Helverins screen in the backfield obviously didn't move turn 1, so he's kind of got 4 of them that are sat quite negatively. So yes, he can try and shoot the spawns, but I can tell you these spawns are an absolute nightmare to kill. They really are a pain with those Filno pains. So there's no guarantee that certainly one. I wouldn't expect one Helverin to kill both. Maybe he has got opportunity to reserve in another Helverin that can get line of sight on the spawns on this left-hand side of the board, or move one of the guys at the back to get an angle.
Well, what would you be trying to do, Ben, to try and mitigate this Death Shroud threat?
Yeah, I think the concern, what he needs to do is get Richard to commit the Death Shroud where he wants them committed. Make sure he keeps that bubble around Rex, because he doesn't want them coming down and then just. I mean, Rex struggles without an invuln in combat. It -2, -3 just picks him up and he drops quite quickly. And he's only on 22 wounds. Obviously, he's in the old Knight Index. I think he doesn't want to be too aggressive this turn. I think he still would like to pick up 10 on primary, but again, those spawn hiding behind that middle objective. What I'd expect to see Rich do next turn is push them out to get within range of the Immolator, so his Death Shroud can come down and clear up that middle objective, tempt Rex out, and then bring the second lot in. So Rich could really dominate this match. He could get some early control on the board, and those Death Shroud really are horrible to kill and deal with. Simon needs to, as you said, he can afford to give up a couple of knights each turn, and if he's given up a couple of knights to force Rich to commit all of his shroud onto the table, then Rex can come out and have a field day. That 4 damage gun can pick up a squad.
I think obviously come out with purpose, but sometimes one of those purposes can be to stop those Death Shroud coming in.
Yeah, it's just so difficult now, the 6-inch charge, because you can push all the way up to his deployment zone and he still just drops 6 inches in front of you. So they are buggers to handle, but once they're down, once they're committed, then Rich starts to run out of tools quite quickly.
This detachment is much easier to manage. For me, Death Guard, this is one of the, because Hammer of Mortarion is one of the better ones, just because you can go see that guy screening at the backfield. He's he's in
Yeah.
contagion range now,
He's-
and I can
he's
charge
con-
you. Your
he's
screening is
afflicted, yeah.
weakness. Yeah, that's it. And
Yeah.
it's brutal because then you've got to screen 6 inches. But at the moment, Simon's only got to screen 9 inches at the back because none of it's afflicted. So it's a
No,
really
absolutely. It's a bit of a stalemate at the moment. I think neither player looks. So it doesn't look like someone's going to commit. He's picked up the early 10. I think the risk he has is that. I mean, Rich is going to pick up 10. There's no looking at the way. I don't think he kills the spawn unless he commits anything to reserves. So it's probably going to be a couple of turns of 10-10 primary until one of them decides to commit. And he's eyeing up the drones there to get some shooting on them, but it's not stopping scoring. And this game really could come down to if one player scores 5 more on primary. That could be the difference to win the game.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm obviously in the room. I can't really say too much, so I've just got to try and lead you towards saying what I would say.
No, absolutely. I mean, it's the opportunity. It shouldn't be difficult for the guys to pick up 10 points if they control their side of the map. They screen properly. They push the units out. That you should be able to pick up 10 per turn. If you can manage to get that 15 or push your opponent down to 5, that really can be different. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens here.
Yeah, I think that's the new playstyle for this mission rule now, Hidden Supplies. It's trying to get those players down to 5. Don't necessarily go for the 15s because you're going to overextend, I think.
You got that objective,
But just trying to keep your opponent to 5, and it's quite easy to do.
I don't think I can get to that one. I don't think I can get to that one. That's the problem.
Yeah, especially with the objectives where they are now, and that you can just step on the front of it. Yeah, I do. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, or maybe this Helven will pick up both spawn. I mean, that's going to be quite interesting because if he doesn't, then Rich has a 10 in the bag, and then the cycle begins of trading primary. Both scoring solid on secondaries.
You can only move 12, can't you?
Well, again, you said he's been quite deep, and he's got to be because of the threat of those death traps. So, like, it's good, all well and good, like layering those attacks. So there's nothing, there's no second wave really to threaten those objectives. But he had no choice. It's either that, or if he creates a second wave pressure, then he leaves his backfield open. So I would be tempted to have not put so many in reserve actually. Just for that reason.
Yeah, that's why I wonder now. Do you bring one in? Do you commit one on the left hand side here that allows this Helverin to push up onto the objective, which he's done, which I think makes sense because it will deny the primary. But he's got nothing else really there to back it up. He's got 3 in reserve. At the moment, there's now a Death Shroud gap there to come in. So I wonder whether he'll use some of his reserves early just to kind of store up those holes.
You can shoot into
There's
him.
a mean sight line down here, which is a new one for this map. You can actually... God, am I going to regret this? That seems stuck. Okay, never mind, I'm not going to do that. But there's... If I have my drawing tool, I might try and get it to work. But basically, there's a line all the way down from the deployment zone, that Helverin, all the way down to that bloke drone on the bottom.
Which you need to get into the corner of this building with one of these guys.
Crazy.
So just do that, and then stick. You need to get someone that unit can do locust now.
Yeah. Okay. So I've got.
This guy's locust.
You need a display of might as well.
Yeah,
so just shimmy here.
But Defiler's in quite an odd place as well. I'm wondering what Rich's
But if
plans.
he's going to die
It's
anyway,
not a good
so-
position.
And if
I don't think he's thought about
he's
that.
dead with 2
Like,
of them.
it's out of the game
They're
for
both
2
in
to
your
3
DZ, they've got
turns now.
anti-fly too close.
Yeah. Let's do here first then. So shoot him. -1 to hit.
Which is a shame because it's got a good combat threat into these knights.
Yeah. Okay, so we have constrained to shoot it. So I'm a little bit concerned that Simon's left left quite a big gap there.
Oh, he's just remembered he's forgot to bring reserves on. There we go.
Ah, there we go. I swear, you'd think he could hear me. That was the gap I was concerned about.
Sending the Imperial Knight player fucking on the Vox, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was. It just left a very big open gap that they could. I mean, Rich could even potentially ingress still. stick them behind that. But that's what I was worried about. He was going to ingress them behind the building, and then come and cause some trouble. But Simon's certainly, I think, seen that and making sure he picks them up. I mean, I don't know if he needed the third,
So you can't see that, can you?
but he has still got one for later in the game. So
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can get to there.
You can see that one there.
Just get your laser. Hey, you've got one here. There you go.
The players using the new grid. It's great, isn't it?
I'd
Just
say
be
so.
like, it's exactly 6 inches on because he's touching the edge of the grid.
it's such a useful tool. I think you can see it doesn't take anything away from the game as well. The grid pattern is just it also immediately nullifies those arguments between is it 6.1 millimeters or is it 6.01 inches. It's very clearly over 6 grids. It's a 7-inch chart. Like it makes things so simple.
Little one.
Really,
The
really
next step
helps
is
from
hex,
intent.
so you can do it in diagonals.
It's a strength of hand, that one. So that was a 6 anyway. So and then it's a
Well,
Yeah,
we're all
no.
in
5
here.
up again. Nope. Do I see reroll that?
Surely it's not. He's not Overwatch, is he?
No, this was a
Does he
save.
explode?
There's only one shot. I'm not sure where it's from.
Must have
Okay.
been the
A
melter.
little melter on the top.
Oh, the melter at the top. Yeah, just shooting into that just to not allow that to get to hit him back in combat, which is a good move. He's not losing anything. I mean, I might have been tempted to put some wounds on. I don't think he could see those 2 blow drones at the back, actually, given the angle. So
Well, it looks like he's moved the Helvrin up. I don't know if he can. It looks like he's moved that Helvrin wholly within, which should mean maybe. Yeah, I don't think you can see that drone.
It's not wholly within.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you could have used that Helvrin to pick up the combat drone, and then, as you said, put the melters into the drone at the back.
5 up.
Okay, so I'm going to spend.
Or at least try that first. See if it kills it, then use your melters into the further. It seems a shame to fire 3 melter shots into something on 1 wound.
Oh, so he's giving extra AP, I think, for CP.
And that's on who?
Yeah, so probably still one of my favourite stratagems in the game. Certainly when I'm playing Knights, Fire's Duty is just
this one and this one, I think.
Yeah. and
it,
for them
it
too,
just
yeah.
So
is
those
incredible.
Well, we'll go from the back row with
I do think that's why, even though everyone's high on 5 big knights at the moment,
priest to hit.
you're just losing so much.
Reroll 1.
Yeah, I mean the immolator combo.
Choose to wound.
I mean, the immolator's staying safe. Obviously, the real combo power is stripping cover and the -2 AP, which then makes those 3 damage shots really nasty.
-2.
Use these dice, the white
Yeah,
dice on there,
yeah.
because we can't see Simon's dice.
Oh,
So
right.
asked him to use the hot dice.
-1 recover, yeah.
Famous for all
But-
the sixes.
Yeah. So it's
Certainly
-2.
into spawn, you shouldn't need the extra AP.
Save 2, so 6
Now this
damage.
is that bloat drone at the bottom
Down
there.
to 4.
That's like I said, it's brutal.
Ah, okay.
Sidelines. So he's just making sure that anti-fly 2+ just getting the job done. It's like he can't see those spawn. That's the problem.
Stubbers, so he's not in rapid. is
Oh,
he?
they're just over the corner, are they? The terrain.
Just about, so 3. You rerolled 1, didn't you?
Yeah, I think that's where the danger is. If those spawn are left there,
Yeah.
they are the perfect tool to charge up the field,
Same again.
apply the affliction
Little cannons.
to that whole group of knights at the back there, because it would be 6 inches in turn 2,
2s.
and then in come the Death Ground, who can quite comfortably pick up 2 Helvrins if they get into combat with them.
So that is 6 at -2.
I think that's what's going to happen, because
-1
they are in
cover.
affliction right now. So they will be.
Yeah, did.
And that's
Yeah,
one
it did.
dead drone.
There's people in 6 of him, so does he explode? He does not.
So that's just reducing the damage threat output. Brilliant. That's really going to hurt.
Good target selection. I mean, Rich is losing assets quite quickly here. The Death Shot are great, but as soon as they're on the board and they're deployed, he has previously taken one with the enhancement that lets him uppy downy.
Benefit of cover, but he's in cover.
So I wonder if he's got that utility available as well, which will let him come up and down once he's in.
4s. 4s to hit, so yeah. Reroll 1.
I'm just
So
going to
one,
check. He's got the
strength,
net.
toughness.
I don't want to interfere with the game.
11.
So he's like,
Yeah,
I think that's like
he has.
14, so threes.
It's
Yeah,
12
so
is.
that does give him quite a bit of
And then
flexibility because he can
minus
effectively
millions,
drop
I've
the
got
Death Shroud,
500.
charge him, pick up 2 Warglaives off the table, come back down and do it again. So he still has a lot of damage off the table, which Simon might overcommit,
Nope, goes through.
believing he's pushed him back, and then in come the
down
Shroud.
to, I think he's down to 9.
Ooh, what was that? What was shooting there, gents?
Down to 9.
The Warglaive that
Just a melter to the face of me, Defiler.
Oh, the Defiler. Okay, there was an angle there. Oh yeah, of course, he's touching the terrain.
Yeah, cheeky line of sight.
And then he's not in range for the little one.
No,
Next one,
they've been.
they've done.
He's been. He advanced.
Is that it?
There's nothing for him to see. Nothing for them to see. I think that's it. He
So
was back up for that.
You're
far.
doing a locus in the centre for 2. And you've got display of might as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. My go?
Yeah.
Hidden supplies,
so-
I just have 1. I don't have more. No, I don't have. I just have 1.
So pretty decent turn from Simon. He has reduced
Missions.
pushed the primary to 5.
Random. Assassination and secure. I go to. You've just put that on.
I just moved it.
Assassination, secure. You've left Rexy Boy back there. I can't get in for assassination. I'm going to burn assassination.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry guys, can I just make sure before you rush off, let's get the scores in, please. So, what did you get, Simon, at the end of that?
He got
Locus for 2.
locus for 2, and he got a display of might as well.
How much was the display of?
1 second, let me come backwards. It is 4 points.
4 points. Right, so
4
that's
points,
nothing you can do
yeah.
about that. That's 6 onto that. It takes Simon up to 23 at the top.
I've just drawn secure and assassination,
Okay, so you got secure.
but I'm burning assassination,
He's getting rid of. You got assassination. He's going to burn it. Yeah.
and I get bring it down.
He's got bring it down.
Bring it
Perfect.
down and secure.
There we go. So primary.
Just have
It's the
1.
5.
Just got the 1, so it's 9. There's pressure on to get these secondaries here.
There is, but again, with this new challenger card world we're living in, Rich might want to control the points here to keep himself under 6 under. Pick up the challenger card next round and see what he gets. I mean, the 6-inch piling consolidate with Death Shroud would be quite nice about now. So if he only picks up, say, 5 on secondary, he puts himself in a position where he's 7 behind, and then can just pick up the extra 3 on the challenger card. So there's such a powerful tool in this new approved deck that I definitely think we are going to see people playing to be that 6 points behind going into the early rounds.
It is a powerful mechanic. I'm not a big fan.
Okay.
I did say that at the beginning.
Okay.
But what can you do?
Yeah. Exactly. It's the game with the loss of the mission rules. There had to be something, I guess, to add a bit more, an extra dimension to the game, rather than just it's 4 objectives, off you go, play. Because the game obviously has been reduced in complexity somewhat. So they're an interesting mechanic. I do prefer it to, say, the first edition of Secret Missions that we saw at the start of 10th, which the Gambits, I think they were called, which were just awful. I think the most recent edition of Secret Missions was great for some armies, terrible for others, so it wasn't really a balanced mechanic. I guess you can't really say challenger cards aren't balanced, because whoever gets them they're good for, but are they too strong? I think we'll find that out over the coming weeks and months.
All of it's going to put it that.
So yes, I got my drawing tool fixed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Not sure if that's coming up on
So-
the screen.
There was no ingress from Rich that turn either.
There was no
which
ingress.
there might,
no.
yeah, there might have been. I was wondering if it was going to pick up an option behind one of these middle ruins, just to be able to push forward next turn. I think instead he can maybe use the drones to trigger Affliction and Deep Strike 6 if he needs to. If these 2 drones fail to pick up the Helverin, I think he'd like to have the Death Shroud sat there as a backup. Otherwise, he's at risk of giving up 15 primary again. So that's the risk here. He's got to try and deal with both of these units.
Done. They're going to just forward.
But I feel like we're going to see some Death Shroud pay that Immolator a visit very soon. We are, of course, as of yet. We've not seen much from Rex. He's just chilling.
Just chilling. Just waiting for the late game. See my drawing box. Yeah, we can still see it. Aha, no more drawing box for you.
Turn 2 on, haven't
You let me loose at the drawing box now. Fantastic.
Yes, I think both players are just taking a moment to address the game state. Looks like that.
It's an important turn for Rich. He's got to really think about this. Looking at where this divide is going to go.
Yeah, so denying him to 5 primary was
just need to be
I mean, you could argue that
down there as well.
dropping the 15 to 10 and Simon's turn is no issue when he pushes Rich down to 5. So he's started to build that primary buffer already.
I think this is what Team Wales needs to be focusing on with these. Is how do you maximise the points differentials in these new missions? And for me personally, keeping people to 5 is big for this. I'm going to be taking units just for that. I will
Absolutely, because you keep them to 5 for 2 turns, and the chances are they're still going to pick up 2 challenger cards and chuck another 6 points on the board. So if you're not doing that, it's very difficult to build the differentials that you could build in the previous edition. If your opponent, if you push, and then your opponent picks up 12 on challenger cards, it's kind of counterproductive. So it's about how hard you push and when do you push.
Just shift these.
So we've had it in the team chat, you know.
They won't be out of
talking to
9 of
players
the Armage at the front of the
backgrounds.
He's afflicted. They can come in
Trying
within
to
Okay.
explain to
6.
people,
Yeah.
you know, my 5-man squad here
Come in 6, which is there.
doesn't kill anything, but it's 10 OC,
just
it's
wanna
2 OC
be
per model, and it's in this map,
third.
and all it's going to do is turn 2 or 3, it's just going to move on to objective. That's it. It's not going to charge, it's going to shoot, it's going to move on to this objective, it's going to deny that primary, and suddenly the opponent's on the backfield.
9 charge.
I mean, those armies that have the OC as well and the damage output, I think they do great. You know, I love Chaos Legionaries for that. I think they're fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
mean,
then the problem with those units are there's temptation to charge is always there, and sometimes that's not a good idea if you're just trying to deny. You know. So here comes the death throw.
Yeah. Yeah, so we've got a group. I'm still expecting to see another one appear at the top of the map, because if they don't,
End of my movement, mate. You want to ingress
well,
Well,
no, so that's it. Okay, interesting, because these drones can be very spiky. They either do 100 damage to that Helverin,
Shooting.
or they do none. Now I think he's on 7, is that right? So he probably feels confident 2 drones get the job done. Which is where I think, Simon perhaps was a little bit apprehensive. He had the movement of the Helverin behind the home, well, not behind the home, sorry, behind the triple story, just to fit that 16 OC on the objective. Rich doesn't have the coverage over there to pick up 2 knights. So, likely he sees a 5 himself here in primary, which then swings Rich right back into the game.
As long as he can hold them.
Just 2 minus 1. But you get cover.
Is this from the Defiler again?
2 damage. Yes.
Okay. Defiler's Rich is using it as a firing platform at the back here.
And then D.
Again, I think
plus
for
green
me,
blast.
it needs to be coming.
3+3.
Yeah, it needs to be threatening this.
On the same dude.
Yeah.
I think I would have deployed it here.
That's a lethal. And the strength 10, so it'll be
Because
4.
there's not many sight lines down here or down here
Four
without being exposed.
-1, but you get cover, so minus nothing.
2 gold poke.
3 damage each.
Some shots going off.
Oh, there's a dice there.
Oh look,
So
you
one
can see this
save.
dice. This is almost
Five.
like why I bought them.
Is that it for him?
There's some flamers that are going to go into him. So there's the line there.
Yeah, just to come back to what you said about those
So
sight
we're
lines,
gonna
obviously
get
there's
just
48-inch
2
range
flamers
on
into
those
him, mate.
Hellring cannons.
One
so-
is not the 2, yeah, just 2.
But if
I
you
think
look at
perhaps
it,
So
it's
7 shots.
this line down here is
4,
quite tight.
6, 7. They're going to want 6s.
Forgive me, I'm not very good at drawing
Just
straight lines.
2
Down here,
0 AP, mate.
and actually down here, from this
Nothing.
corner here, it's quite. I'm not very good at this, but basically, there's quite a big goat hole here.
This guy
But
is going to
Yeah,
point
the
at him
pilot base is huge.
and
Yes,
tell my
yeah,
army
pretty
to
much
do
right.
better.
Well, I think
The blast
that
weapons.
again is interesting. Why
This
these
one's gonna shoot
smaller
at
knights
him.
can be so deadly on these maps. That you really, if you position
6
them,
plus 2.
you get the angles. They can just fit for the game and shoot stuff.
Hits on freeze. Rerolling.
I don't know.
And yeah, I think if I was Rich, that Defiler I think probably
One
needs
default.
to jump out turn 1 and start putting pressure down the board.
Strength
Um,
10,
take the
T9
pressure
now,
off
so
of the
it'll be
drones.
freeze.
Yeah,
Let
I
them
agree.
then do their work.
So you've got
Yeah.
3,
I think
and it'll be
hun-
-3,
Drones are the
but you do get
MVPs,
cover
yeah.
for -2.
Okay.
So they need to
yeah,
do their
yeah.
work
-3.
without getting threatened.
Nice. So 5, something
Yeah.
like
Absolutely, make them shoot the Defiler. If you don't,
3.
it's in your face. Let the drones move around them and pick up the knights.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So, you're seeing in the chat early game predictions here.
So
For the beginning,
7
it looked like 11-9
Next one.
towards DG. I'm wondering if chat's
is
had a
5
reconsidered what they think the score's going to be.
plus 2.
Let us know in the chat.
And
Yeah, I
3,
mean, I think on-
rerolling.
On paper, I think on
I'll
this
reroll
map,
3, 'cause I want
it
6.
favours the knights.
They
I
hit
think
1
they just
lethal,
have the quantity
and then these will be freeze
to
again.
deal with the drone outbursts, pick them up with the anti-fly, and then just out OC, send a help in
5
each turn,
on your rerun
AOC,
again.
AOC, AOC, deny primary. So I think before the game, Knights of a small win would probably have been the minimum I'd expect.
3 each.
3 each. How many was it?
I do still like this
Pardon?
build, even
How many
if
went
the
for
points
it?
changes.
So I'd say
4, you
I'd
said.
say for 1, didn't I?
Yeah, I mean that's the point I raised. I mean, the list I was running prior to the change was Rex and the 9
Yeah.
Armigers with the Crusade, with the Sisters and the Emulator, and what you got was 60 points back because of the change in Rex, which got you an extra piece. And to be honest, it was already a strong list. An extra throwaway unit for scoring a secondary
the
one
last
turn
one's
was
not got a
used useful.
target.
And into most armies,
These
that
2 guys over
T9
here are
doesn't
going to
make
shoot
a,
onto this dude.
a massive amount of difference.
They get +1 to hit and wound against
So,
vehicles, so they're
I
going to
think
fire
it
the
is just a
truck
strange
missile.
archetype.
first
The
one
OC changes,
hit.
however, do hurt it.
Then the multi-melter,
See, I wouldn't
1
shot
lethal
that.
and 1
I
hit,
wouldn't
and
shot
it's a
that, I would
melter
charge
strength
that.
9,
There.
so it's a 5.
Yes, get the
No,
distance.
just the 1 on your
Okay,
income,
charge,
please.
tag this one, and it stops the denial for next turn. Because these can all.
What's that?
D6.
This can still see them, this can still see them, and this can still see them.
There is another one
So
behind
if you
it.
charged it,
How many more
and had
shots
to
have you
fall
got?
back to shoot,
3.
you just had one
3
less
more
thing
shots.
Going
shooting,
off the
and you'd
back
have
one.
kept-
That one's
So you've
done,
got-
but it's D6 damage, yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was, yeah, the temptation to kill is there,
go on
but
then.
sometimes it's not always the
3.
best thing to do.
It is, yeah. I think it's the benefit of watching the overhead on the screen is being able to
So the next one, crap
to
missile.
also see
5.
already what am I
no,
doing
yeah,
next
hits.
turn. Like the
And
Helvin
it's
that
a
stepped up to
5 for
pop
wound.
symmetric
No,
dots into the drone at the
+1,
back
so it's
there.
4, nothing.
Probably could have been
Melter.
5 inches further forward so it can step
hit.
onto the middle objective turn 3. And now Simon's in a position where
1
actually
wound.
probably
on your
can't
income.
get out to that middle objective to deny primary again.
Saved it. Shit.
Maybe only going to pick up 5 himself. So it's definitely going to be a tight game, I think.
Shit. Okay, that's not a problem.
Simon's got a smile on his face. I think
I was sweating a bit there.
Rich's float drones in the top have failed to kill that. armor
Mythic
at the
blight
top.
haulers.
Oh, mythic blight haulers.
Yeah.
Okay, they're blight haulers. So
Yeah,
it's hard
and
to tell
that,
from this angle.
I'm just going to go for my
unfortunately, I
9-inch
think
charge
if you
there
wind
now.
the stream back 5 minutes, you'll hear me say exactly that. That was my concern, that they can be so swingy.
And he gets it with an
They failed to
11.
kill the knight.
Oh my god, that makes
He
up
just
for
picks
it.
up 10.
He's just made an 11-inch charge.
I think, yeah, he probably picks up the piece now, but he's probably now in range of an extra 2 armigers to shoot them. I mean, I'd hazard to say, depending on where he finishes, he also wants to be careful he doesn't give Rex an angle, because if he pushes too far forward here,
And they just have to go up the window.
Rex can just step out 10 through that. All we've got to do is tap into that the piece of terrain. If he can see one part of those models through the corner, he's going to have a field day into those those Death Guard.
Only
range.
charge?
Well, if you can get into 24, I mean, yes, it's only D6 shots, but with sustained on 5s, hitting on 2s, the army re-roll, the free stratagem for another re-roll. Realistically, you'd hope Rex is shooting with 5 or 6 shots minimum. 2s and 2s, because he is strength 14 as well. Bring the immolator into play. He's then shooting at -3, ignore cover. Every failed save on those Terminators is a dead
Just one card
4
hit
wound
you, which is
Death Guard.
fair, I don't need.
Pretty,
I just need the
pretty
Lord.
impactful.
I literally just need.
And
the
then,
Lord
of course,
for
you
it.
Squire's Duty the Hellvinds into them and pump them
So I
with
get
what?
sustained
8,
one and
16,
land on
24,
charge.
32
Will be
shots.
now T9.
So
The
Rich
Lord
sees
is
a
strength
huge
9,
chunk
so he'll be
disappear.
running on 3.
And it looks like, just looking at the position of that model on the top of the model there,
One lethal.
looks to me like Rex
Sustained.
probably can push out and get an angle. Unless he consolidates back.
Which is
You mean this way,
4
10
to 3.
down here?
Yeah,
I think
just to, and even if he just touches in that piece of terrain, he can obviously shoot over it as well. So, that might be interesting. I mean, if they kill it, they can consolidate back out the way. That would be my hope, is what Rich has in mind.
Well, this has turned out to be a great stream. I mean, I think I'm really excited about. You know, the camera quality's improved. I hope everyone back home can really appreciate that. The sound quality's improved. Need to get some more of these.
It
models
does.
here.
D3 damage to me Death Shroud, mate.
Apparently, there's no one in the room on that
Oh,
angle.
what?
There is.
One down to 3.
But they have, some players, some of the people watching have revised their scoring, so that's interesting.
I like the wound counters.
Yeah, it's Rich is going to keep picking up models, but he's going to give up another 10 to Simon now. With Rex and the Hellwinds on the board, Simon should be able to pick up another 10 turn 4.
So, Rich, has this unit you're playing with now at the bottom there, the Lord of Contagion 6-man Death Shroud, has that got the uppy downy? Has got the uppy downy. That's interesting. That's brutal.
Yeah, he
Once
has
per
also
game.
consolidated back, which
It's a
maybe
440
saves that unit. So.
point package in the end. But it will do 38. It can do 38 damage to Rex.
I guess for me, it's the reason to take this detachment.
That and the Lord of Virulence loan up by being in a unit.
Yeah,
He's stood there just pointing at stuff going die.
yeah.
And-
It's big, isn't it?
And he's, like I said, it's loan up 18. I think I've brought him into 18 now. He can get into 18, but there's free Death Shroud. That is the
20
end of my turn. So I got to bring it down.
Simon
Scores, Josh?
needs
scores,
to
yeah, Sorry,
Okay.
Ben, we'll just hold up on that one. So you got bring it down for 4.
And
you
I
got
got secure for 5.
Secure for 5. That's a big one. Takes you up to 18.
And
so
it's
that's
34.29. So it's currently 10.10 still.
29.
Yes.
I've got you for 18. Did I miscount on one of the
I
secondaries?
had primary. This is turn 2. I had 5 primary.
What was your secondary score on turn 1? Just to double check. Have I given you
I have
4 instead of 5?
Cleanse for 5.
Ah, that's what I've done. 5. And so Simon is on 34.
34 and I'm on 29.
Cleanse is 35. Okay. 34 and you're on 29. So I'll add the paint score in there. That's great. Thank you very much. Great. So we're going into Simon's turn 3. So let's see what he can do. Sorry, Ben. What were you saying?
Your turn 3.
I'll just
you
say,
hold.
I think Simon probably needs to think again about primary denial here. Those Death Shroud are going to be able to come off next turn, end of this turn anyway. So don't worry too much about trying to contain them because they're just going to come off the board. If he can push out to that middle objective and deny 5,
That's just extras you can't score from, so that gives you your 10, doesn't it?
Well, no, we don't have.
I'll just let them
If I
talk
didn't-
out.
Yeah.
If I fail that, I'm going to get 5.
Yeah,
That doesn't give me
that gives you the hold.
Yeah.
But we hold the same, so there's no hold more anyway.
So he's auto passed on that knight armature at the top there to just make sure he gets the 10 to keep building that differential.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, good decision, I think. Get them on the board.
And it looks like Rich has lost out on a challenger card by 1 point.
Engage on all fronts, engage is...
Yeah, absolutely. He has done, which could have been pretty useful. I think if I was Simon, I'd really focus on denial here because if you can get onto that middle objective, I'm not sure if that armature can. 1, 2. Maybe with an advance.
Let's see what he's got here. So what secondaries have you drawn there, Simon?
Engage on all fronts.
Engage. Ooh, overwhelm's tricky.
It is. I mean, it's difficult to see how far that armature in the middle can move. I don't think it can get onto the objective with 12, but I think with an advance it probably can.
I think there are some sisters behind that wall as well. Is that sisters behind the wall in the middle there? Okay. So potentially that's a play.
Are they not in the emulator still, those sisters? Because that would be a nice tasty night. And again, I guess this comes back to thinking ahead. If they were in that Rhino, if they were in the emulator, that extra 3-inch disembark can move. That 9 inches clears them straight onto that objective without any concerns. They can probably even then shoot the melter and the flamer and the shots into the spawn. So they probably can still make it with an advance, but
It's a dice game then, isn't it?
yeah, because for the sake of that sister, you get effectively 60 points of sisters, denying 5 points is definitely the play here.
Oh, this through there, what's
Yeah.
left, isn't it?
So we've got 2 cloak drones back here. We've got a hauler sitting on this objective at the back. And
Three
actually,
dro-
the disadvantage of this
there's
attachment, it does
3
get
here.
sticky. So you do have to commit assets to the backfield.
Yeah, and Simon does still have 1 glaive in reserve, as far as I understand, and it is turn 3. So
Yeah,
there's
so
a big gaping hole at the back there.
Overwhelming.
yeah, and it's WCC rules, so both players are expected to help each other play the game. And so, you know, it's usually at this stage that
Right.
going into, sorry, gents, it's usually at this stage you go, you know, turn 3, you have still got reserves, so it's obligatory for you to both remind each other that you have reserves.
He discarded overwhelming and he got defend stronghold, so he has engage and defend.
Yeah, I mean,
So he's
I
got
would
that, he's got
I would expect that
Engage
Simon
or
can also walk
engage.
his last warglaive in onto that middle objective,
What's
the
the
top
difference
middle
between big
objective,
engage and...
just to stick
Is
another
it
8
three
OC
scores
on.
now, is it?
Yeah, there's 3 scores there, mate.
Just to force Rich to play the game then and say,
1.2
look,
points.
I've got 6 in OC here. I'm going to walk my sisters onto your middle objective. I'm going to hold the 3 and make you come and do
And it's
something.
Still outside of 6 of the centres, still, is it? For engage?
If you can force Rich to another 5 again, then he's building that 5-point score each turn. He's slowly taking the game away from him.
And Rich has got to keep taking risks to keep the secondary scales.
Yeah, and those shards, yes, he can use the uppy downing to get up and maybe up the top there, but then the 2 knights at the bottom then move forward to that objective as well. So Simon has the tools here to do this. I'm okay. Interesting.
Have
I
they
think
got a
he's letting
melee
the
profile?
blood go brush to his head
So
here
it's like
because
3 attacks with -1,
I'd
which will
probably
be
just
-2.
leave that knight where it
It's only
is
1
and say,
damage.
you know what, come and waste some more shots at me. stick another one on there. I mean, he could even commit the armature above Rex onto that objective and bring one in from reserves and just stick 24 OC on there and say you're not having it. Yeah, mate. Just because if Simon can just keep sticking the tens
No, you
on
can see
the
him,
ball,
can you?
No, I'm
keep pushing
trying to
Rick
see
the
if I can
five,
see you for a
he
cheeky
wins the
Overwatch.
game.
This is turn
He's in a
3,
position where he can just force that win by controlling the primary.
What do we do about those boys?
He does have to be careful that he doesn't leave Rich with enough assets to just pick up the 15 turn 5, as he has bottom of turn. And I think that is important. He does need to keep that at bay, but potentially as the game state sits, he could even keep Rex Simon until
What are
turn
they?
5.
Chaos
Chaos
Spore.
Spore.
And then push him out to come and cause some
One
problems.
each.
This was a great call for the stream. I mean, as I say, people in the league, we're always going to reach out. We're going to look for games that we think are going to be close. So far, we're at 100%. We've got a draw. Nick and Matt. And we thought this one was going to be close. I think we were bang on the money here. We've got Nathan and Martin.
That'd be a good
We
game.
do. It's always
good
nice
to
to see
guard
how
the
old our
elder.
fairies guard.
Death to the pointy ears.
That's going to be a great game. Because I think what Eldar want to do in that Spawn Council list is hurt you. Go after your valuable units and really punish you. But the guard don't really have any of them.
Well, no, they do, and it's the ones giving the orders out.
So it's going to be an interesting puzzle. But Nathan's gone from strength to strength this season. You know, Martin's a veteran. You could call it the old guard. Firework.
Indeed. Very good.
I'm hoping he's working on his
I
list
am.
for eyes.
I'm desperately looking at Rex and wondering, is Simon starting to get itchy feet now and thinking, you know what? Do I
He's looking at it.
do I push Rex out almost as a bit of a distraction here and say, look, Rex is on the table. Come and kill him. And while you do that, I just keep taking your primary away. It might be time for him to come and say hello now.
I mean, Jesus. I mean,
There we go.
yeah, that's good. I think
That's the move I was hoping Simon would do.
You've
I
got another
think the
unit to
helping
drop in,
just
haven't you?
sitting there
Typhus and his crew, yeah.
doesn't really help at this point. So sticking another 8 OC on the objective makes that very difficult for Rich to deal with.
the skill level of the club's increased significantly, I have to say. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
good
he's
to
only got
watch
to get
Simon
through.
because I remember
Just
playing
get
him
through
when he
this
first
turn.
started.
Rich is going to
and
have to bring.
He was
Has he
quite
still got
quick
2
in his
units
actions,
of,
and he'd be more about
Shroud off
killing
the ball or
things.
just the one?
Yeah.
I think he's just got the one
Can you see
shroud
that?
off the table now, Rich. So
Probably is given up.
where is that emulator going?
Can I see him?
Okay.
Pardon?
Can I see him?
He's
Um,
got high on.
Yeah, he's looking at the triple
I'm
Helver in
behind the terrain, so
the
no.
triple Helver in into
Oh no,
the
you'd
Death
have to,
Guard,
even
into
if you were
the
wholly
Death Shroud.
within, and behind that terrain, you'd
which
have
is
to
a
get
very-
out to there.
He's just going to lose all.
Does that make
he's gonna lose
sense?
3 play pieces next turn.
Yeah? Because of the terrain, you'd have to get out to there.
Yeah, I mean he's got the sisters on the middle objective, but
Like another inch.
that
Suppose it's
would
got
be a
the movement,
tasty
isn't it?
Death Shroud target. I mean, don't forget. I'm
One will do it.
he's going to go triple squires into the Death Guard. If he can pick up 3 or 4, oh no, looks like he's changed his mind. If he can pick up 3 or 4, he can probably then risk charging the front one into the Death Shroud, which does stop their uppy downy. I think if he can stop that this turn, that kind of leaves them a little bit out of the game.
Some of the lines are tight.
And if he can get his Rich to 5 primary,
It looks,
see-
there's a lot of
it
open
doesn't-
lines, but then there's a
it
lot of
doesn't
like
look
really
to be
sneaky,
committing the
you
sisters
can't fight there kind of thing.
to take that objective, which would be a mistake.
Players are just commenting on how there's a lot of open lines but a lot of tight lines, and actually Yeah, because actually, this is probably one of my favourite.
I do like the map, especially with the mission as well. The splitting the objectives.
It's just the small changes. All they've done is tilted those light pieces at the top and in the middle, ever so slightly. It's opened it up a little bit.
There we go. So Simon is measuring that one up.
Right, the sisters are going to advance.
This to me is quite key. If he moves these sisters and denies the primary,
You got the one on the sister.
Let's just see.
I think he only needs the one. He only needs to get one model on. They are 2 OC.
They are two.
What do they move?
Just needs one on, and he denies the primary. So it's pretty
Lift
big.
that up again.
He does
Make it
only
easy
need
for
one.
yourself.
Yes, the one at the.
Is it 7?
Whoops.
Yeah, looks like he can just step one on, and that's what I was saying about the Emulator. That was yes, he's rolled the one,
stuff,
and it was enough. Just.
I take it she's
But you,
2 OC?
they didn't need to be out.
Yeah, so
They
she-
could have been sat in
you
that
match me
emulator,
for OC there.
ready to get the extra
Oh,
3-inch
no,
move.
I've only got one in, actually.
And then you can actually get line of sight on the spawn as well. So they're going to die next turn. Let's be honest. But with that extra movement, they get on the objective. They maybe pick one of the
Okay.
spawns up. They've done they've denied 5 points. They've maybe killed a spawn. I just hope he doesn't get excited and charges the spawn. Because I've seen those spawns just pick up units like that for fun when they roll the big 6 shots.
I don't think they've got the advanced charge. But the thing is, because they've got
Fantastic.
the sticky, if you could have got the 2 sisters on there, that would have been stickied.
Only end of his command phase, so he
And
would
it-
have to
okay.
survive
Oh,
another
is it command
turn.
phase lock? Okay, fair
Yeah, they would have to survive, but it's just a great move because now Rich has to go right. I'm going to have to commit a tool to deal with those sisters.
Bring one guy on.
Do I bring these spawns out? I mean, his second unit of Death Guard are very far back. They're sat right behind that objective, and they're not in a position to really contest the no-mans.
In fact, I'll bring Rex.
That made another one.
Slight change to the. Oh god, there's a tablet there. Who put that there? Let's see.
Also, it looks like Simon's just has bought the last of his reserve knights in. I think that just appeared at the back of the board there. Now got 4 Helverins that can see the Death Shroud.
Slightly better angle on the game state table there. Thank you for that, Rich. I can't.
Just bring Rex out. There's nothing to do here. You haven't shoot those. How much have you got on there? How many
Yeah, I
terminates?
think we're at quite an important
And the Lord.
phase in the game here.
T7.
Turn 3 is my favourite turn of the game. It's when the game.
Yeah, I mean,
decided.
if he can, if those 4 armigers can squeeze into that Death Shroud and pick up a decent amount of them, allowing him to charge and keep them on the board, that's pretty massive. Ritual Loot, it doesn't then have the tools really to deal with multiple objectives each turn.
So what have you got over here then? What damage?
Maybe Simon can just keep on rolling towards that 5-10 point win.
3 damage.
3 damage. D6 attacks, is it?
D6 plus 2.
Yeah. Don't you
And
bring
blast as well, which doesn't really matter against you. There's a stratagem for reroll hits. I think it's reroll hits and wounds, maybe.
Here we
We
go.
are at
Not against.
Here we go. We are
Let's
an
go.
hour and a half left to go. Turn 3, gents.
Alright. What are my stratagems?
You've got
does.
engage and defend.
Alright, shit. I needed to,
Engage
that's why I
and
needed to move them up, didn't I?
He was behind the thingy, wasn't he?
Yeah, I needed to move them up here for that. That's why I needed to move them
So I think that one advance
Can I just
has
shimmy
even
him over a bit?
Yeah.
managed to get those sisters in that 4th quarter.
He had the movement. He
Oh
could,
no,
Yeah, I
because
just-
the middle.
I was
the
thinking
middle is not
moving
good.
back,
So
but-
could
again,
have actually got to there.
this is where,
but
as you say, it's a dice game.
They can get me.
that was what I was
Coming,
hoping.
again, coming out of that emulator with their movement and advance gets them
Yeah,
into
I'm not
that
putting- I
4th
don't wanna
quarter.
put, he's out of the line of
Just keep
sight.
him out of
so-
line of sight
yeah.
of me because I've potential for a cheeky
It's another
overwatch
couple
there.
of points dropped there.
So he's decided to sacrifice the armature for the extender. Engage, sorry. Not sacrifice it, but make it a little bit easier to kill, shall we say. It was always going to die, so why not take the points?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, there is that fourth armiger has joined the has joined them, and they all look. Are they all Helvrins? Yes, the one he's got his hands on now. He's just bringing in his last unit for reserves there.
I think that's an armiger coming in, is it?
Yep, that's me last.
Are they all Helvrins? I can't quite.
Yeah,
Right,
so
let's do it.
Helvrin.
armiger,
Shooting.
Helvrin.
and that's a Helvrin, and that's a Helvrin. So there's
Two Warglaives.
Two
Helvrin and
Warglaives.
Warglaives.
Two Warglaives and two
Helvrins
Helvrins.
into that.
Okay,
Don't
so
try and hurt it while it's there.
Right, let's do over here first.
yeah, it will be swing on the invulns,
This fella
but
into
he could quite.
first
He
one here.
could pick up.
Yes,
He
the
could pick
first
up 4 or
one
5
is
here.
going to pop smoke.
Okay.
Who's popping smoke?
A Mephitic Blight Hauler over there.
Light Horse popping smoke.
Right, 4's to hit then. Reroll 1.
It's going to be freeze, mate.
Yeah. Reroll 1. So that's 2 at.
On me and Von.
You're all in clutch.
Both go through.
It does, especially when you've only got 3
D6
shots.
plus 4, so he's dead anyway. Minimum of
It's
10
been able
damage.
to reroll 1 hit, 1 wound.
So
But
9.
really, it's only the
plus
2 big
8.
that demon
Does
spears
not
you
play.
care about. It's pretty decent.
Picks up a playing piece.
This fell into this one.
This is where, actually, if you'd been more, if you hadn't gone for the engage points,
Doesn't get into the terrain.
Yeah, so him into this one. So freeze.
Fuck's sake. Wow.
Cool. Wow.
oh, he means business.
Wow.
2s. He's fly, is he? Yeah.
No, he's not a fly.
Is he not
mate.
fly?
Not
So
fly.
9 into. What is he?
9 into 9.
Okay.
Fours.
4's then.
Holy
Reroll 1.
moly.
And the
Reroll.
reroll.
Oh, 8!
7.
Wow.
One was free.
That's one then. Light Hauler.
7.
Seven.
Yeah, he's going to need
One was a free.
big 3-ups here.
And it's -1, but I get cover, yeah? So 3 ups.
No cover.
1 goes through.
I cannot make
Down
out those dice at all, so...
to 7.
I can't. Only one went through, so they both rolled hot. He failed 1 4 up.
Okay.
No, 3 up, because I was in cover.
Oh, he? Oh, because of smoke.
No. He's in. That one gets. That one's hidden by the crate.
Oh, okay.
Where he is. He's only -1.
Yeah, it'll be the
So freeze.
stubbers now, I imagine. Stubbers do work.
6
Watch the stubbers do more than 3 damage.
1.
Just the one. Just the one.
Did I reroll wound last time?
Don't know.
I don't
Oh,
know,
I've
did
got
I?
people complaining in the chat that I'm too quiet. Well, you know me, I don't like loud noises. Turn myself up a little
2.
bit.
What's the
No,
strength?
1, sorry.
A 1 AP.
Yeah. -1.
So I get cover anyway. So save 3 damage total.
Yeah, I mean that when he spiked those dice there, that if he'd lost both of those, he was in a real trouble. If he'd taken a few more wounds off, someone might have been tempted to charge with the Warglaive into that hauler.
shoot him?
Yeah.
If he got him down to say 3, it probably became worth it. But I think
So-
they would just sit there. What's pivotal now is if these 4 armigers down the bottom of the map can squires
Yeah, I'm gonna
into
get Squire's
these
duty.
Death Shroud and do some serious and
These
pick
two.
up most.
The 4
Yeah,
of them
if
pointing
all,
at them, yeah?
he's going to shoot with all 4. And the great thing about Squire's duty for Imperial Knights compared to say Chaos Knights is that he can pick all 4 knights. He can pick a target,
So these 3.
and they all get +1 strength, +1
Yeah,
AP.
I can pick
But
4,
if the
can't I?
target dies,
2 or
they can
more.
still shoot something
It's
else.
2 or more, isn't it?
So it
Beautiful.
just gives him
Right, let's
full
do.
Beautiful.
It's only going
mobility.
to
See the
matter
guy
for
from
them
the back.
two. It's
Yeah.
only going to matter for them
Yeah,
two
I was
first.
just. Yeah.
The
I've
other
always
ones
been
are-
tempted by knights, but I'll refrain. I've got enough
Right,
armies.
so, 3's to hit.
Yeah, I say they're a fun army. I do find the higher you go with them, the more you run into players who just know how to beat them.
Yeah, 9 is
3.
But they're the classic mid-board bully knights. They do very well in mid-tables, but when you start taking them higher and higher, then people kind of know how to deal with them.
But -1 with cover, yeah?
And then 5 big knights come along.
3.
So
Right, you're in. I can't
Fail
read those
3
dice at
of
all.
them.
You're in charge of the asylum for a bit, Ben. Just going to take a break for a sec.
Yeah,
So it kills
it's
that
very,
one,
very
and
difficult to see Richard's dice, but
It is very difficult to see Richard's dice.
that must be the stink coming off of them. It's
It's the
those
stink.
Death Guard dice.
He's not in.
So this, I'm guessing,
not
is
in
the
there.
Squires
Not in.
lineup from Simon. Like I said, this is a
2
quite a big moment here. If he can
1 wound.
you did
pick
really
up
well,
a lot of this
Yeah,
squad,
yeah, 1.
Rich is
82
very
again.
rapidly running out of the tools that can do the damage. And
Let's see
that
it.
allows him to just bring Rex out and
Next
start
one.
controlling the board, because once those Death Shroud are kind of locked away or tied up, Rex can take the shooting from the rest of the haulers for a couple of turns and not really worry too much.
4 in it, so yeah. Right.
So let's see
Next one along
if
then.
Simon can keep those hot dice
Please.
going.
Reroll 1.
Okay, pretty decent return. He's only dropped a couple of shots there. The strength 10 does keep him on 3s as well, and again,
That's 4.
a fairly decent return. It's all going to be down to these save rolls. So, going to be. Oh, looks like he's made most of them again. And I think Death Shroud getting that extra wound and going to 4 wounds is huge here, because before it was just obviously every foul was a dead Death Shroud, which was quite punishing. That extra wound just is pulling 6 damage out of the army to kill a 4 wound model, so it's pretty effective. They're very good at staying alive.
These ones.
They're Wargraves.
They're what?
See how
So
many
2 war
saves
blades
he
to go.
pushes this time.
So 1 at the front.
Both hit. And then it'll be freeze
Looks
again.
like just the 2.
Freeze.
Yeah.
So I'm on 30. Yeah, 3, 7, 8. Reroll 1.
Oh, these must
And
be the
we 4 up
melters
in
from
one.
the second war glaive.
So
So
failed
any
both. So it's
looks like 2
minimum
failures. So that's
1,
going to
that's
be
2
2 dead shroud.
4 plus D6.
Yeah, no,
dead.
that's
Mini melter.
not great for Rich there, unfortunately.
On the
I mean, he
back.
made the saves into the Hellfrins, and then fouls the melters, and that big melter 4 damage is just decimating.
Save. Little 1.
Looks like he's just hanging on. He's still
No,
got
didn't reroll.
3 models, and the 2 Death Shrouds and the character can pick up a Hellfrin in combat. So
no wound.
I always keep
you'd like to really take just 1 more
Is
here,
that the
just
last
to
of the
really
shooting?
blunt
That's
that unit.
the shooting gun.
So charges. That's
Looks
going
like
to be
this is the last,
two
the
or
last of the
1?
shooting into this unit here.
It's not failable. It's a 2.
Do I do it?
Did you spend your CP on Squire's duty, didn't you?
Yeah.
Does that mean you're down to 0?
I'm on 0 now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't. I can't put it in the dice. Can
Put it on 6 just so it says that obviously.
I? Just trying to decide whether. What's their? They got 4 wounds each.
So yeah, so Josh has turned the
He's
mics
got
off,
6
so
wounds, and
unfortunately I
currently
can't
got-
hear
if he
what's
comes
going on.
in
But
and
it
kills
looks
them, you'll
like
have a
there's some
field of pain.
discussion.
I'm back.
There we go. He's back. I
That's the
can hear. I was
No,
just
no,
saying
no,
to the
no.
viewers
Titus
that
is the warlord,
we
he's
couldn't
still in
hear
Sky.
anything, so he wasn't quite sure what the conversation was that was going on. The shooting was fairly effective. I think Simon would have liked to have picked up 1 more, but
Holy shit!
oh.
Where does Death Shroud go?
yeah, a lot of
behind you,
shooting though.
in the dead pile.
He probably wanted to just say he probably wanted to kill 1 more just to blunt the output from
Well,
that
try and
unit,
work-
which then
oh,
means
okay.
he becomes swinging if they
Just
kill a
a bit.
Hellfrin in combat. But I think there's 1 more left to shoot, and
That one?
if he can
Yeah, you
pick
can't
up a
kill him,
couple
but-
more here,
If we get rid of this one.
then it's a very strong turn for Simon. This is absolutely the right move, because if he can pick up, he gets sustained on the
4
charge,
taps.
kills 1 more, you hope he doesn't die in the crackback, and they aren't jumping anywhere. I think that would be really massive for him if he can deal with this unit, and he gets 1 sustained,
That's
1 out, 1 in, so
12
pretty
into
decent.
7.
He's wounded on 3s.
No, 10.
The problem is
12,
the 3
Either way,
damage,
it's
so the
5,
best
mate.
he can hope for here really is to
No,
kill 1.
it's freeze.
I was I'm guessing that 6 means he has no
AP?
no CP,
-3.
because I would have
Invuln.
liked
+4
the tank
invuln.
shock there, just to get that
Fail
one
one.
wound off a shroud and
Three
kill
damage.
one.
1 down to 1.
Yeah, the 6. He only managed to take 1 down to 1. Oh god, I've got the hiccups from my beer.
Yeah, and that
Gets
and
hit
that was
back.
the risk. I think one more wound. The 2
Kevin.
death shroud of the character probably do pick up the Helverin now. If he could have just got that one guy off, the maths start to edge in his favour. So this is going to be interesting, because if they can pick this up and
Don't
then
get
jump away,
sustained and lance this time. One,
it
two,
gives
three,
Rich the
four,
mobility
five,
that he
Lord.
needs. So this is pretty big here.
Fail 2.
Here comes
Strength
the, I
9,
think it's the Lord of
T9 now,
Contagion.
so 4s. 2 at -3.
Okay, so
The Lord of Contagion really needs to charge for the lance. Both go through.
Oh
6
dear.
damage total.
6 damage there, I believe. Is a 3 damage profile. So this
6
is
damage taken.
what I was saying
Death
before, is that if there was only one death shroud in the character, they don't kill him.
1.
But
They
now on 2 damage and attack,
They do still get
it
sustained.
looks like a couple of lethals
So they
there
get 3
potentially.
back. And they're lethal as well.
Yeah,
And these are going to want 5s.
lethals and
so
sustain.
number
So I
one,
think this
3,
armiger could now be in a
4,
little spot of
-3.
trouble.
He goes nothing. It's 4 saves. And
They're 8 damage total.
8 damage picks it up.
Yeah, and that was, unless he rolls some good feel no pains here, that
Save
was the
one.
concern.
Easy bloke.
Just, yeah, if he'd managed to get that one extra wound through and pick up that
They
model, he
will
was
need a
safe.
battle
So
shock because they're below half strength now.
what I will say is I think it was still the right
that's in your
decision,
turn, yeah.
because
Yeah, so I've got
They're gonna-
engage.
I think
They're gonna come off the
he
board
didn't
as well
roll
at the end of your
particularly well on
turn.
the saves there. One save and he's alive.
What was
And
the
that
other?
keeps that unit where they
So
need
you've
to
got
be.
engage in
There goes the uppy
3.
downy.
Yeah.
And there you go. And
And
now Rich has
defend
got that
stronghold
mobility
will
that
find out shortly.
he was going to struggle with.
So we got
And the confidence that even though it's a damaged unit, it can pick up one of those small knights. So sorry,
Yeah.
the players want to talk to me? What's going
the
on?
scores. He got engage in 3 for 2 points,
He's got 2 points from engage.
and he's defending stronghold. We'll see how it goes.
Ongoing, so that takes you to 46. I'm going to score that now. I'm going to get rid of engage.
I hold 1. I do not hold more.
Rich holds 1, which takes him to 34, and he's going to draw his secondaries.
Am I right? Yeah, I don't hold that
So
one.
again,
Yeah.
the pressure's on again to get these secondary scores.
Random. Behind enemy lines and display of might.
Just behind and display.
So I go to 2. I can still burn another secondary.
Yeah, display
this
might be
edition?
difficult
Yeah.
here.
So I'm going to get rid of behind. And I get establish locus.
He got rid of behind, he went for locus. Okay, so
No, he really doesn't want to be doing actions at this point, so not ideal.
well,
Okay.
yeah.
So
got-
display of might and locus.
I think Simon, I mean, he's lost a couple of units perhaps through miscalculations, but he's in a strong position here where if he can, he's got the 2 knights at the bottom. The Death Shroud are going to have to come back down there now and try and get that charge. And I imagine we might see the spawns move forward, get the contagion range, defilers come. He's got to deal with some of the pieces, because if he doesn't, turn 4, Simon just steps onto the objectives and says, "Come and kill me and try and out-see me," and keeps taking that primary away. I think the draw
But Simon is
is
running out of play
definitely a
pieces.
possibility. He is, yes. There's a couple of misplays where he's lost a couple of units that he probably didn't need to have lost. He does still have Rex, and I think Rex probably needed to start moving out last turn. It wasn't really any danger if he did so, and start making a move up the board, because I think Rich is keeping that other Death Shroud unit at the back there in
So he's
anticipation of
in
that. But they're both
contagion as well.
effectively just nullifying the
And
pieces.
manage
They're
contagion.
playing no part in the game. And while that's okay for Simon, Rich needs to do something about that, because he's likely going to get denied on primary again next turn as well. if you're looking at that top objective, Rex being able, if Rex was at least moved forward behind the wall, like gives him an extra 5-6 inches of movement, he's ready then just to pop out that wall onto that top objective, turn 5, sit there and say, come and take me off, you're not having this one.
Yeah, I can't help but agree, because I mean, what's the danger in him being here, behind here?
Yeah, it gives him that 10 onto the objective as well. And do you know what? If you battle shocks, it's not really the end of the world, because you just want him there for that. You want that's something. The worst thing that can happen now is he waits until turn 5. He comes through the wall. He rolls the 1. He battle shocks himself, and then he can't deny the primary. And that's really what he needs Rex for now, is to get out and play the game. I mean, he can pick up those drones all head into that top objective. Maybe Simon's played it beautifully and he'll step out next turn and pick a couple of them up. That might be the intention. I think he can. What's nice is he can now quite safely move these the Helverins sat in his home objective. Can start to move forward now. Rich is going to have to use the uppy down in this turn, because they have to come back the turn they come off, or they have to come back on your next strategic reserves phase. So let's see.
So that's Lord. I think that is the.
Lord of Virulence.
That's
Lord Virulence.
Yeah.
There you go.
the 3-man.
Get an angle on that. Yeah, with 3-man Death Shroud and that sitting in there.
Yeah, I mean the crazy thing here is that, and I find this with Spawn
as well.
You expect the Spawn just to walk into those sisters and pick them up, but then they both roll 1 on their number of attacks, and then fail to hit on 4s, and then those sisters just walk through and deny the primary again next turn. And that's maybe a risk I think Rich needs to consider, because if he drops to 5 primary again, the game's starting to slip away. I mean, those 2 Spawn on that objective have just been sat there like champions in the bottom, just picking up those 5 points every turn.
Yeah.
That's probably the most efficient 65 points Rich has ever spent. Meanwhile, you've got the 160 point Defiler just sat there doing
back all.
doing nothing.
Typhus
I think
and crew.
He needs to start bringing it out now. It's going to take a fair amount of time to get it out into the game. So I think now we need to see that Defiler push in.
Let's see. So this looks like some Death Shroud Terminators getting ready to come down.
It's Typhus. He's going to hide on the home.
Typhus is hiding on the home objective.
Okay, that's an interesting. I mean, we've just seen that 3-man pick up a Helverin.
There.
So
It's
He's in 18.
yeah, maybe that bottom objective could have done with a bit of reinforcement, because again, Simon's in a position where he can just walk one of those Helverins onto that objective now and deny the primary.
Lord of Contagion doesn't
Simon
have
in
to.
first, isn't he?
Doesn't have to come down.
Yeah. So it is. I
But-
think Simon's in quite a strong place now, where if he can push, he can keep Richard to 5 turn 4. Go into turn 5 maybe with a 12-point lead. Pick up his 10, get to 22, and then have one of those turns where you say to Rich, go and score 22 points for the draw, and it all comes down to what he pulls on secondaries.
What's that to him?
So still in for a tight finish, I think, unless we see something swing quite dramatically.
Let's have a
This
6.
is going to be very difficult.
Let's have a 6. And I got a channel there.
I mean, they could pick up an Emulator all day if they get the charge. The other tool I've not seen much of is the Calatus Assassin. I'm not quite sure where that is hiding.
Yeah, where is the assassin?
In the corner.
He's hiding in there. So he's got, yeah. So
Right, now that is quite a
That's it.
nice
They're all out of
positioning
6.
because Richard's only got 1 CP. If he
And
fouls a
shooting.
big charge here now, the Calidus is going to push that to 2.
yeah.
If you want to pop the stratagem for, I think they get extra sustained and lethals and objectives and things. He's
will
not about to
shoot
pay for that.
at-
So the Calidus might actually, that
Oh, he
Vex
can
might
wait.
come in play for
He
the
can
first time
receive.
here.
The back one is in range with his melter. He's going to melter this dude.
The Death Guard are
2
definitely out in
hits, 'cause
force
plus
now,
1
so
to
if
hit
Rich
and
can pick
wound.
up, say,
Strength
another 2
9,
armatures
so
here.
it'd be 4s and plus 1 to wound be 3s. So you've got 2 on your invuln.
The pilot saver
And
is.
goes through.
D6 for
Yeah,
4.
I mean, again, I've just noticed as well, if
4.
Rex was
4
right
damage.
behind that
Yeah.
wall, he's now in heroic intervention
Takes
range.
2.
Must have go through.
What's he down to?
For those
We had 2 left.
Oh, right.
those
Yeah.
Death Shroud pushing into
He's
the
right.
emulator,
Nope.
and that'd be a lovely little trap to spring just to push Rex out. You don't mind taking 10 wounds at this point in the game on him, especially with
This
what I
one
would've done,
here.
just for the audience back home, what I'd have done is these spawn that are here.
He's going to shoot there.
I would have pushed them to go where these ones are. I would have then pushed
Doesn't
these
hit with
ones
the
up
crap
into this
missile.
corner to put this into contagion.
1 lethal, 1,
Distance
and
contagion.
it's you're in
And I think
contagion,
I would have been
so it'll
bringing down
be
Type's
a
squad
strength
here
9, 3.
and
So
trying
you've
to
got
pick
2 on your invuln.
up one of these.
I mean, potentially even bring them in behind
Saves
the
them.
terrain piece in the corner, so
this
they've
first
got
one
cover if they
here.
fail the charge. So
You shoot at him.
yeah, I mean,
Um,
there was a good opportunity.
Four.
That's why I was
Who was
surprised they
shooting
went
at
that
the
far
one in
back
front?
onto the home objective.
No,
I
that
think
shot.
Richie's just
Okay.
thinking
that
about.
shot. This one
Yeah.
is
Try
shooting
and
at
get
that one.
the-
Now. It's 4 plus 2.
I think he's probably thinking he needs the 15.
No rerolls this time. 2 minus.
But I think he maybe has done
3,
that a turn
but you
early.
get cover, so minus 2. 3 damage each. Five. Next one.
Shooting
This
into
one
the top,
can't
is it?
see her, I don't think.
No.
That one can't see her. This one at the back here can. This one. This one can't. I should have
Yeah.
shot. I've
This
put
will be interesting.
this one.
This one can't see,
5.
so it's not shooting down that angle.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 2.
But that
Yeah,
might
one's
actually
right
be a
then.
that might actually be a godsend because you put it in here.
Three on
Yeah, I
your
mean
invuln again.
those Death Shroud do have anti-2
3 damage.
flamers, so I do think those Death Shroud just pick up those sisters with their flamers
Down to?
anyway.
4.
Good point. In that case, it's got a sight line down here just to stop picking some wounds on.
Yeah, that's
Lord of Contagion.
probably where it wants to go, I'd say. But again, having what 3, 4
This one here is
drones
gonna
on top
shoot
of the
it-
map there this
No.
turn.
Lord of Contagion first is going to throw a grenade at that one that's left there. Yeah?
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5,
But again,
6.
Rex
What's
is
he down
just too
to?
far back,
4.
so he's not. He can't really engage.
Take 4 mortals. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, take 4 mortals. Save 1, he's alive on 1.
But yeah, Rex. And then next turn, Rex can come out, pick up. I think it is Typhus in the middle of the board, and these 2 Death Guard, pick those guys up.
He's left that armor
But
in
he's
there.
used insane bravery,
On one
so
wound.
he's got a. It's only a 6. Oh no, the 7
Again,
is
and this
leadership,
is
aren't they?
such bit. And
On
this
the-
I will
on
say
the
is
thing.
what is different
Yeah,
about
don't
these
wanna go
archers now. Having
This
gone down
drone-
to
no,
6OC,
the
so
filer's
down
gonna shoot
to
at this.
3 when they're bracketed, and going down to T9.
D6 plus 3.
It probably is dead on the new index. The amount of times I've had an arm just survive
hits
on
on
1 wound on
three,
8 OC and just go,
Drops.
sorry mate,
3,
there's my primary,
2
there's
lethal,
B national, but
strength
I will
10.
say he has
You're
used
not in
insane
contagion,
bravery
so
already.
4s.
So
2
that could be
minus
quite a
1,
big,
but you get cover.
a big leadership test there from a primary perspective.
So again, sorry,
Because
Richard.
2 minus
More
1,
than
but you get
likely
cover, so
Simon
3 up.
isn't going
who
to
you
get
shooting
primary
at?
next
this guy here with this
Two,
one.
so,
3 ups.
3 ups.
3 damage.
I'd be tempted to actually put the flamers now into that. Help
2
into that
damage.
warblade.
And then you're in 36
Why
for
not?
the heavy
Throw the flamers
scrubber,
and
heavy
watch
bolter.
make it about 1 on a
There's
3-up.
1 lethal and 1 sustained,
Put the lethals
and it's just the 1 at -1, but you get cover. Fine. Now he doesn't get cover. This one's going to shoot at him. 1
People
plus
enjoying
2.
the stream tonight. I've got a lot of comments tonight about how close it is. Private
All go
messages in the
through.
club.
And
It's
1
great.
minus
People
1 on your
watching, don't
invuln.
forget,
One on
like,
the invuln.
subscribe, all that stuff. If you want to ask the
3
first
damage.
questions, the super chats, it helps us. Every stream we do, you know, we get a little bit better.
3 damage.
I feel like that's true.
On this dude here?
Now we
Yes, sir.
solved those
Yeah.
those connectivity issues in particular. Touch wood. It's been good for connectivity today.
Two flamers will go with this.
We're just getting excited.
There's 3. There's actually 3 there. 1, 2,
It's wearing
3.
his North Wales Dragons t-shirt there.
9.
So is he gonna? What's he gonna do here? Is he gonna put the? Is he gonna put? Is it Typhus at the top there, or the Lord of Contagion into that?
It's going to want 6s. 2 minus 1. No cover. On the immolator.
Is it 3 up in it? The 4 up.
1 each, so 2.
Just shot the emulator with the flamer there. That's an
So,
interesting.
Rich, what did you just do?
Just flamed the immolator with some death shroud.
Okay.
Yeah. So my spawn are going to
Runes off there. I'm
charge
surprised he didn't just
these guys.
Yep.
pick the Helverin up instead.
10.
Here comes the. Interesting.
They're
Yeah,
going to
I
go
wonder
in
if
for the
he's gonna
6 over
charge
there.
Those Terminators into the Helverin.
8.
You got an 8 into that.
Into this one that's on a wound or 2.
Okay, I mean that I think is a better. It makes more sense to go that way. He's done a great job of pushing Simon down to 0 primary.
That's only 2 OC?
Well, is the immolator 2 or 3 OC?
2.
2.
Oh, brilliant.
That was intentional.
Richard's
what are they?
is intentional.
Huh?
What are those guys?
1 each.
Yeah.
You've only got 1 CP, you can't interrupt. We'll go with spawn into these sister things.
So this is the one you were worried about, Ben. These D6 rolls here.
1, 2.
Yeah, because I've
So these are
seen the
D6 plus 2
spawn
each.
do nothing.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
And I mean, I don't think it's gonna happen, but it's not beyond the realms of possibility. Where the
They hit on
sisters suddenly
4s.
pick up spawn and consolidate onto both objectives, and Simon suddenly picks up 10 points.
be a
Strength
bit-
5, you'll be
We've seen
T2
crazy
now.
shit happen, but if he
The
can kill
sisters,
one
yeah.
spawn,
So
he
I'll be
also
wounded on
picks
2s.
up,
Hitting on 4s.
the primary.
Most of them.
I still can't read those dice terribly.
No lethal.
I think I probably need to cover the lights above the tray, but
Wounded on 2s.
I mean,
Drop
looking
2.
at where those sisters are as well,
1, 2,
I
3,
think-
4, 5, 6 at minus
I
2.
think Simon can pile in onto the objective and
Five.
keep it secure.
well. Oh my
Shit,
lord!
2
he's-
die.
He only killed 2 with 8. I didn't realise that AP2 those spawn. That's pretty nice.
AP1, but I've got contagion.
Of course you have. Yeah. I keep forgetting how good that is.
What have you got on here?
2.
So if he, okay, I was about to say, as long as he doesn't pick up the 2 that he can, the one that
Prediction
he
strap. Sorry, go on.
Okay.
So you're not
no,
going to
just saying,
get to pile in there, no?
just
Is
meant
that your
as long as he
intention?
doesn't pick the one up on the front that's not
Over there?
amazing, pile it onto the objective. He can then get 4 OC on and take
Lord?
the objective.
Drops 3,
Um,
but 1
Oh my god, you rolled 3
sustained.
1s on the hit there.
1 sustained and 1 lethal.
This is
I
Lord
mean, I
of
can't-
Contagion.
This is strength 9, so it's on, with lance it's 3s. So you've got 3 minus 3.
It's 6s. 6s.
3 each.
There's a chance of getting 3 sixes here. 6. 3 each, wasn't it? 2. Yeah. No.
Gave me a good old college try there.
End of turn.
Yeah, so I think this
End of
is
turn.
quite big here.
I have 1,
I can't
2,
remember.
3, 4, 5
Sorry, Ben.
units. You
He's,
have 2. So
Ben
I got display of might,
He's got his display of might, sorry. Just,
Yeah,
I don't want to interrupt the game.
and
I was
this
just saying,
dude here did a
Simon
locus in the
doesn't
centre.
appear to have fought back
Lord of
with his
Virulence.
sisters or done his piling or consolidation move.
No, so Simon hasn't done a pilot on consolidation move. I'm curious if it's on purpose.
Yes, it is.
There you go. It's
Well,
on purpose.
Yeah, I got
Because he
2
has
for
to
locus.
Go towards an enemy model if he can.
Yes,
he
but
can.
the spawn have already fought. And if he consolidates 1 onto the middle objective, which he can do, he then holds
Yeah.
that for primary.
No, I don't think he can.
You won't
I'm
have-
out of engagement.
Because he can't get around the bases. If he kills one. I don't think those sisters can kill that spawn, can they?
No.
If they
No, but
hit
he
it, there's
just
potential to
needs,
take
he just
more
needs
calls.
1 on the objective because the Emanator's 2 OC and the Sister's 2.
Yeah, I don't
So-
know if you can make it. That's the problem. Anyway, the game state is as it is. I feel like I'd be interfering. So we've got
No,
locus.
absolutely. I'm not
I
saying you
understand.
should. I mean, you can
Oh,
see.
yeah, I
with
did a
the
small
the
locus for
box
2.
grid, you
I
can
know,
move
yeah.
through
And I
inches
got a
on.
display of might for 4.
So you're on 41, which
No,
again,
I'm not. I'm on what? Locus is only 2 points.
yes, and display is 5.
No, 4.
4. Oh, okay, okay.
So it is
Okay, it's 40.
46, 40. So I will get a challenge.
He gets a challenger card, ladies and gentlemen.
Does get a challenge
You
card.
won't have primary.
No.
How? And
but you
I
did
believe
get defend.
Simon gets defend, so that takes him to 49, which
then
means
do
he
this.
definitely gets defend. A challenger card, Rich.
We're now round 4. I think.
Takes him to 4. Sorry, Ben. It's skirting the line between talking to you
So I'm
and
on-
engaging with the players there.
Assassination.
No, it's fine.
and
I'm completely
Assassination
bewildered as to
is
why
there.
Simon has just given up
Um,
3 primary points.
Marked for
there.
death
It looks like it's not possible
will be typhus.
based on the
will
coverage of
be-
the objectives.
This hauler, and it'll be this unit here. These 3 for
So
mark
it's
for
got-
death. You get to pick a baby mark, a baby
you can
mark for
move-
death now as well.
You can
So
move
it's
3
your-
inches, so you can definitely
You'll get
toe
like
on
2
because
points.
You can
for
see
killing
the
it.
objective.
But you
up
get to
the
pick
building.
1 that you think I'll kill. If I
Um,
kill that, I'll get the 2 points.
But
That's how
why
mark-
wouldn't
mark-
you
it's
fight
not so much a feel
into
bad
the
where I've
spawn?
gone. You can't kill them.
okay,
you get to
anyway,
now pick
interesting
one
one. I think it's quite
That
big
you
there.
think you
because
can kill.
Not picking up that 5.
It's held into
keeps
0
Rich-
primary, yeah.
Yeah, that massively puts Rich in the game.
So, sorry, gents, can you just remind me of your secondaries there?
The secondaries I've just drawn are assassination and mark for death.
Assassination.
I was just
Okay,
wondering
that's
if
not
mark for
too
death.
bad.
So
So Mark for Death is changed massively, right?
Yeah, I've
I can
just
pick
said
one, can't I?
you can pick
Oh,
one
it's
unit.
sensible.
I said, and then you can.
Just put a sass. We know what it means.
Oh, your command phase, my friend. This. Is he in 9?
Of
Yes, he is. He's in 9 of my Lord of Contagion. So on a
for
6
who?
or less for him,
Okay, yeah.
on a 6 or less,
Oh, what he's doing is mortals.
nope. This
Which
guy.
have you been
these-
forgetting to do that whole game, Rich?
No, I've done it the odd one or once or twice.
I've missed it.
These guys are gonna.
This
They're not
detachment
below
roll.
half strength, are they?
No.
So that doesn't take it either. And then this thing here.
Yeah.
That takes D3 mortals. Oh shit.
So Rich's
Takes 2
detachment roll
mortals.
is every
Okay.
turn. This is the first turn. He's done it.
No, it's not the first turn I've done it.
Is it not?
No, no, it's the
That's the
second
first
turn.
time I've noticed.
Second time I've done it.
Okay, you get mortal splash. Okay,
Yeah.
so having a think.
On you.
It's on Simon's
2
turn
mark for death
4.
on these guys.
So
No,
guys, we
mark
haven't got
them.
long left now.
So I've marked for
We've got
death.
an hour to go.
I've marked for
max.
death these 3 units,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and Simon's marked the one where assassinate is.
Well, I think we know where Rex is going this
Yeah.
turn. So
Right.
Simon's picked mini mark on the Death Shroud unit there in the top,
What else do I need to do?
as you might expect. Mark for death and assassination. Look at this. Oh my god, I'm getting. The more beer I drink, the worse I am at drawing on this strange coincidence. Yeah, never mind. They're marked for death, and there's the character in there as well. Straight on there for the dial.
Yeah, it should be a big 10-point turn on secondary for Simon, which at least keeps him in the driving seat. I mean, he's got to. These armatures need to push forward now because he's got to get himself in a position to stop Rich
Have you done
15
all your up and
turn
down
5.
stuff now? Oh, just
Not getting any primary was big this turn. I mean, that really shouldn't have happened,
useful for.
and that could cause a draw.
So there's a way around that. You word it in such a way to your opponent. I don't know if this is legal, but word it in such a way to your opponent that she's always going to come off the board unless I say otherwise. And then at least that way, if you forget to do it, it's a case of.
I have to bring it off then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to then.
I mean, you probably want the Calidus there because she's got the anti-flamers, she's got the fight first, she's got the anti. She's pretty effective at -4 picking up stuff in combat. She's got lethal, so
primary as well at this rate.
this is probably the turn he doesn't want the Calidus going up, to be honest.
So there's the denial. There's the denial in the centre, the denial at the bottom. Looks like it's going to be a 0 primary for Rich in turn 4 as well.
I mean, yes, yeah. I mean, he needs to at this point. I mean, that's an effective move just to stop it. I mean, if he picks those 2 units up, I mean, Rex doesn't have the movement to walk onto the objective. He definitely has the movement to walk through the terrain and then charge and swing himself on. So either way, if he doesn't kill that Death Shard unit, he should be able to get a toe on, put Rich down to 0, and then just say, yeah, all 5 drones come and shoot Rex, 4 up on the Iron Shields, see if you can do it. But because even if he moves 3 drones on, if he can't put Rex down to half, he'll keep hold of that objective.
I mean, the sisters give you sticky, don't they? So you now have to.
They do, and that was also why.
But you know what? I just thought of something. Thought of something. If an objective is sticky, you have to be a higher OC to take it off someone. That objective was sticky.
The wording of the sisters. It isn't. I don't believe it's one of the new ones. One of the newer wordings that say your opponent has to exceed. It's just that objective becomes sticky. So if your opponent out OC'd you,
so it's not been out OC'd then. So yeah, okay.
But he doesn't have enough OC. So yeah, interesting query. I think Simon, there was no reason not to score the primary because the model he took away was the one that could have quite comfortably walked onto the objective in the pile-in. But there's nothing. Again, the players have agreed. We've moved on from there. Probably could have picked up 5. I think the important thing now is, as you said, those sisters have stepped on to there. Those Bond will come out and mess them up. They're impossible to kill. Those bloody beasts and Nurgle. They're an absolute nightmare.
So you rolled a 1 in their advance.
There's Spawn.
Spawn. Those ones, isn't it?
He's got 2 beasts and Nurgle behind where those sisters are behind that middle terrain.
Marked for death.
I believe they're beasts and Nurgle anyway.
Have you got Beast and Nurgle on your list? No, it's just 2 lots of Spawn.
I can't have beasts. I'm not Taliban.
Spawns, yeah.
Okay.
They can't get a line of sight on them anyway. Although I think that is, yeah, you're right. That is actually, I don't know, knights. The ones with the chainsword, at least, so it has got a combat threat if it wants to go in. And the Defiler is not in a position to get into the game now. I think for the rest of the game,
it will
unfortunately.
get to strip cover, which is the whole.
No, I mean the Immolator needs to push out here as well. The Immolator puts its heavy bolters into spawn, just kills
and
one.
Also it can heroic because it's a walker.
It stops Rich, just keep denying that middle.
I do think
Rex needs. Here comes the assassin.
He's gonna come through.
Right. If I was Rich, I would 100% have
he's not
Overwatcher.
shocked.
So that's 6.
Yeah, well, you can't because it's 2 OC to Overwatch.
Exactly. Yes, it's the blue dice, so it's down to 1. Okay, interesting. No, he's gone.
I'd have done the other way around.
Yeah, I would have gone the other way there.
Sorry, I shouldn't be saying something. It's done. My bad. Sorry, guys.
The charge
They can hear me. I forget. I've had...
Right.
He maybe can still get on with the consolidation.
Shoot him.
Yeah. Let me just pick me order.
I don't think he needs to worry too much about that home objective. I think the Heldren back there probably need to put him this turn.
I keep forgetting.
So he can get a line on something because
I can't see him, can I?
No.
he wants to be in the position turn
Charge
5 that he can just step onto one of those middles
It's like a 5-inch
and
charge
stick
or 4.
AOC and say you're gonna have to pick me up as well.
It's a 5.
So maybe
Alright,
it can reach, it probably can reach the top middle objective. I think that's where that needs to go.
Okay.
The
He's gonna
Emanator
shoot
needs to
into
make
the
some space and
Is it here?
Yeah.
come out and get a little bit more damage on the spawn because you need Rex's shooting to go into those Death Shroud as well.
He
Just in
is.
case. Use the Emanator to pick up a spawn. Get the sisters to throw a grenade into the spawn and just take Rich's units away. If he hasn't got enough units to pick up 15, bottom of
He
turn,
is going to
5,
pop smoke.
That's the
What
key
else
to
have I got
win this
to
game
Mr.
now.
P on? No, I won't. Yeah, well, probably.
Don't give him the
This is
flexibility.
Alright. So
Minus
fours.
1, yeah.
We
Right,
roll
looks
one.
like we've gone into shooting
Massive.
somewhere.
The
That
little
goes
one.
through.
That's one save on the
Okay,
little one.
double sixes. Was that Melter somewhere?
It's still a minus million, isn't it?
Yeah, it's melter. So.
5 up. Damage.
You're still there, Josh. We seem to have lost all
Is
of
that in
the
12,
audio.
by the way?
Oh,
The
sorry, no, here I am.
The little
Sorry,
one's not
I
in
had my-
12.
Oh, was it
Mike,
not?
no.
Okay, sorry.
So that didn't get to.
Yeah.
It was the melter from
It
the,
wasn't.
The little
armature
one wasn't in
into
range.
the bottom. Yeah. So it's just blinking wounds off this Defiler, which is out of the game.
Next.
Okay, interesting choice. I think I probably would have just
Can't see this
dealt with
one.
those spawn.
They don't get benefit, do they?
Pardon?
No.
No.
Okay, he didn't have the movement to get hold of him
No.
then, I guess.
They do from them.
No. He was quite far back. Remember, he was like here. So you know. It's,
Yeah,
it's,
makes sense.
but it has got the combat output. So
Yeah, I'm sure he will
Right,
charge
just,
the spawn. Just tie them up, stop them. If they fall back, then that at least
That-
stops them going and
that
killing
fella
those
there.
sisters.
He's going to shoot at the spawn in the middle there.
In the middle.
put the armature in this bottom here into the skull on the central objective.
We roll one.
This one here.
The freeze to
Okay,
win.
I mean,
Oops.
We
I'm getting
roll one.
worse at this.
3 at minus.
it can't
one.
see anything else. It
I will get cover,
potentially
so
see the
4 up.
drone at the top.
Definitely could have.
2 go through.
I think I would have
The
liked
first
a
one,
grenade
feel no
from the
pain,
sisters
3
into
each,
the
yeah?
spawn, shoot their melter, shoot their flank.
It'll all go onto 1, so I'll roll it all.
Put
5 up,
Rex's
feel no pain.
0 AP, little dots into the
kill
spawn as
1.
well, bring the Emanator out, shoot the spawn.
I think, you know, the day when you wake up and you discover grenades and how useful they are is the day you... It's so underutilized.
Best stratagem in the game,
Rapid.
by a mile.
I just wish it was 2d3 sometimes.
What's their toughness? 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
5.
5. So 1. -1.
Okay, cover, saved it.
My cats are
Okay.
quite curious what the
Emulator's
hell we're
gonna-
doing in here.
Have a go at these.
They're
2d6
convinced we're hiding
flames.
mice on the table. I'm trying to keep them off.
7.
Because they keep hearing you say dice,
Seems
that's
to hit.
why.
Yeah.
No, it's Torrent.
Is
5
it?
into
You're so
7.
fast. Why'd you keep
5.
looking at this table?
1.
It's a big
AP?
phase here for Simon. If he needs to
I don't get
pick
covered
up
as a
another
flamer.
couple units,
Save it.
really
Okay.
dent Rich's
They
chances
strip
of a
cover
big
now.
15
Uh-huh.
turn 5.
Bolters.
So we had a draw
One
yesterday
sustain.
for Imperial Knights, didn't we, into
That's
Custodies?
3 hits.
Steve
I
into
think
Nick.
it's 5, isn't
That
it?
was a
It's-
surprise.
It's 5 anyway.
The
2.
Knights are looking a bit drawish here as well.
What's heavy bolt?
Yeah, I mean, I still
Is it
think
-1? -2.
Twin heavy
it's
bolt
in
is a
Simon's
-1.
hands. I would go as far as to say
No,
I
it's
think
not, they're
in
twin.
Simon's
It's just a-
hands still.
Yeah.
Oh, the heavy bolt is a
yeah.
-1
He's,
though.
Yeah.
he's
that's
denied the
Two
prize.
of them, yeah.
Yeah.
Does the strip
He
cover
should pick up
after
10
it's
on the
finished shooting?
secondaries.
Is that the word after?
Yes, Rich has the challenger card, but he goes into the turn 20 points behind, or over 19 points behind. With no primary.
So I don't. So I
So
still.
you're fine there.
Two up.
Arguing over the
Fine.
emulator rule, I assume?
Now I don't get
Yeah,
cover
so
now
the
that shot. Yeah.
Eliminator
Yeah.
shoots something and then picks a unit and
Yeah, so
ignores
it's
the
stripping
other.
cover from those shroud, I think, in the centre.
Shall I use me?
Next. We only have.
Yeah, I that's declared that. Didn't I?
Yeah,
So I'll do the
I
Hunter
guess
Killer.
There's a
until he's-
Helver in that you can still use to put some
Hits.
shots into the Death Shroud.
14, so 2, yeah.
This
That's,
is
An invuln.
killer.
yeah.
Saved, I'm assuming, from the thumbs up from Rich there. Because I can't see those dice.
Helvering at the back there into these guys.
No cover.
The Death Shroud broken, or are those new dice just completely illegible?
3s.
Three.
So this is, if he would like to pick up at least one here, minimum.
Got 3 at -1.
Rolls. But
One
so
dead.
is Rich.
Oh, so there is the one.
So that's,
Um,
you should have expected one to die there, I think. From
What one is on that number on the 8 shots? He is wounded on 3s. You'd hope you can get 2 through the info. It's the 4 damage. The 4 damage, the 4 wounds. Sorry, is just.
I rerolled
such
them.
an important
It is a-
breakpoint.
It's
4 into
huge.
35.
It's a real pain to deal
one.
with because that's 2 Death
Right.
Shroud dead.
I feel like
one.
up to this point,
damage,
so
one
many
damage.
Another
codexes
one.
were specking into 3 wound models as elite. So you get a lot of 3 damage weapons in the game. And then suddenly Death
She's got
Shroud
a
drop,
flamer.
and it's like, whoa, okay, no,
I think
fucking
it's
3
D6, isn't
wounds.
it?
4 wounds is the new 3 wounds.
Yeah, and I like
don't-
that from. Sorry, I was just gonna say I like the
D6
move from
attacks.
Simon there. It looks like he's going to activate the Canadus.
Anti-infantry 2
6
up.
shots and a flamer is that? He's taken a Death Shroud down a wound, which then means
Precision.
Rex's 4 damage is wasted. So if he can pick this one up with
So I'm going for
with the assassin, multiple 4 wounds then into the character. Two go
Yeah,
through,
5
it's
and
dead.
2.
So good,
Five.
good activation
5.
choice there.
I thought it was anti-infantry 2+.
Oh shit, yes.
Ooh.
We'll go through.
I'll go
6.
through, yeah.
Where you at?
-2.
yeah.
Did you say it was precision?
man.
Unfortunately, lethal
Right,
is
so
no
he-
flame
you know
as
he has
well,
a feel
I'm
no
not
pain,
sure.
yeah? I did
know
say.
it's
Can't, can you,
pushed
'cause
up
it's
as a
auto hit.
flamer.
Yeah.
No, it's just a silly,
You want?
I've got assassinate, so I need to kill him, don't I?
Oh right, so
really insane.
you want him on him, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh,
So it's a
he's
4
on
up.
the load of contagion.
He tanks the lot.
That,
Okay.
And he passed every
very-
single one, so it wouldn't have mattered anyway.
Right.
Wow.
That's yeah, very. It's a strange choice that one. When you put a Death Shroud down,
Is that why he's
three,
attached
you
to
put them on the normal unit.
The unit gives the characters
Oh, I
the
see.
feel no
Right.
pains.
So done it the wrong way around, didn't I?
Yeah.
Right, never mind.
Yeah,
But
especially
do they-
if you
do they
forget
get
to
feel no
no
pain?
pain? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Alright,
strange
never mind.
choice.
Okay.
I mean, Rex is going to tank
Reaction, I
shot
guess.
them. He's going to mess them up with 9 damage attacks. So they're dead. I mean, to be frank, they are dead.
They are.
Rexy boy.
Here comes Rex. The
Yeah,
old
they're
T-Rex.
proving quite really tough, those guys.
You
aren't
really
Oh,
want
Death
4,
Shroud,
5,
yeah.
6
Yeah,
Rexy
so,
shots. If
alright,
you get a
They're
4,
dead
5,
now,
6,
mind.
you're
Rex
happy.
comes in charges.
they?
Right?
So what? They got 4 wounds each, have they?
He's got 6.
You know, I
Yeah,
would
he's
have
got
been
6
trying
people.
Yeah.
To me, I would have been trying to get some of this damage up here. All these models.
Yeah,
Alright, let's do.
take the pieces away. Rex is going to pick them up in combat,
the D6
more than
then.
likely. So, if I don't know if he's in 24, that's the problem. Oh, there's the big 6 shots as well.
Oh, here we go. Well,
The
we
two-
Now
know.
this is
5 sustain.
this is
Yeah.
I mean, this is where Rex suddenly ends up with 12
Fuck.
shots out of
Reroll
nowhere.
one.
Oh, unless they're
Okay,
all
so
right.
he.
So 1
He's still
sustain.
going to pick up 1 on
So that
sustain.
goes back
so
in.
he's
Yeah.
still
Yeah,
going to
hits.
get the
Yeah.
6 shots.
So 14 for 2s.
Yeah.
Probably saving the free strap for the combat phase. not the
So that's
best.
6 at
Rex
Uh,
does
on
have
the
a
invul.
strike to get that. I do
it's
forget you have
strength.
that. Oh,
Damage.
looks like a
There we
fuse
go.
4 each. So it kills him,
Kills
and
the
then
death round.
4 on the 4 feel no pains off the Lord.
So
Doesn't that stop it? No. he's
Not yet.
detached.
If you
Failed
someone
all
else
feel no
shoots him
pains,
now,
I
so
think.
he's
Well, I
down
think
to
those are all
3.
ones. Those fast 1 feel no pain.
yeah, I
He's
mean,
down to 3. He will get back up on a 2 up at the end of the
He's-
phase, though, yeah, if you kill
he
him.
does. That's the problem with this chap is I think
Oh,
Rich
he's
just
got one
mentioned
more.
it. He
So
does
4.
get up on a 2 up.
2.
So you need to kill him
2
and shoot him
sustains.
to be able to deal with him. Now the
I don't
beauty
think
is
he's OP though. I love that character. You know,
That's sustained as well.
The
Both
death
of
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
round
he's,
is
he's just
cheap.
sustained, hits 1.
The
But he
interesting
sustains on 5.
mechanic
Yeah,
here,
yeah,
this
yeah,
time
yeah.
of
So
using
5s.
it, is that if he kills him in the charge phase from the tank shot, he does get back up at
And
the
you want to shoot him,
charge
so,
phase,
isn't it?
and then
Charges?
you can pilot and kill him.
We're
Right.
charging.
So it's
Calidus
if
and
this Simon
charger.
utilises a tank shot here or not. I mean, you should do.
Rex can charge.
Rex is going to charge in. Here we go. He's definitely in. Where's he going
Is
to
he
go?
gonna tank shot? Is he gonna tank
Can I,
shot?
I can squeeze in as tight as I can I?
Yep.
Yeah, good move. He'll be able to consolidate on.
Well,
But
technically he
Are
has
we
to
going to hear
consolidate towards...
those?
Do you have to consolidate towards the closest objective?
Yep, or the closest enemy. First closest enemy
Here.
within 3, and then the objective.
The
Scrap him. Any more charges?
Close to new model. If there's no new model, you can consolidate towards. You have to get closer to the centre of an objective. I'm not sure if it says the close objective or if it's just close to the centre of an objective.
What round is it now?
Calidus can do it.
Pardon?
4 in
4, yeah.
But more
Yeah.
importantly, I don't think we heard the magic words tank shot there,
We didn't hear the magic words there. So,
which is a surprise. When you've got 2 CP and a free strat on Rex, that's a surprise.
just
What's
thinking
their-
over his
what's their-
charges.
Damage back.
It will be -2 and 2, but it'll be hitting on 4s, wounding on
Yeah.
5s, D6 plus 2 attacks, -1 and 2.
Yeah, I'll just leave it. I'll
Yeah.
leave that over there.
He's not going
Okay.
to charge the
Right,
spawn.
so Calidus is going to go into him.
No, so it is within range of the closest.
He doesn't have a
objective
feel no
marker,
pain,
So
no.
Rex will have to go down rather than.
He
Your
doesn't
guy.
have one.
I thought so. Yeah, which is...
Could have used
Sorry,
that.
I'm a
He,
bit
he,
crap
he,
in the,
he had a big
in the
charge there, so he could have used the pivot to get closer to that top objective as well.
Right, 5 attacks.
This is where the games of Warhammer are
Twos.
lost. Is in these micro
Yeah.
movements. Yep.
Movement is so great, and we've seen that a couple of times in this game now with the opportunity for the sisters to pile in onto the middle objective. Primary.
5 into
Rex
7.
moves to the top.
5s. So 1 at -4.
-4
4.
up in
I'm
one.
not sure if Simon's remembered that
Saves
Rex
it.
gets a free strat each turn.
Rexy boy.
I don't think he has. Team Wales
Okay,
scrims results coming in to Mind Goblins. Don't know if you've seen that.
I think it was already lost, wasn't it, before the last 2 games? So it's probably only got worse, I'd imagine.
He's got strike and sweep.
Poor Harris hasn't had a good one there.
What's
I
he got
think.
left?
But a very good,
Right, so
let's not
sweep.
put it out of context. Mind Goblins are a very, very good team, a very good
Top
organisation.
team in the UK. I think.
Yeah,
Two.
2 or 3 very strong teams.
Hit, just put them out
Reroll
there.
1. Sustain, so 1, 2, 3, 4.
We're taking a lot of new blood
Three more
into
rings
the
to drop in.
WTC this year. It's a healthy place to be. That's my
Plus
mentality.
And then it's
I'm also
Yeah,
I'm
10.
massively
So
surprised he didn't charge the Warglaive into the spawn either.
Me too. I think there's a bit of psychology going on there.
Yeah, again, if you're not going to use the tank shock on Rex, use it on the spawn. Try and pick one up. Just stop them
Yeah,
going
so
anywhere
2, 4,
because
6, 8, 10.
now they can walk up and deal with those
Minus
sisters
2.
or go and full
Minus
middle
2.
objective.
So 4 up.
Just get kill units. If he kills Richard's units now,
He's
he's
dead.
going to win the
but
game on primary.
End of the. So he's dead. He's. And then you get
I
to
mean,
consolidate.
He gets back up on
Wherever
3
you wanna
wounds.
go.
I can only imagine. I think what Simon has done.
Are you gonna
is not
consolidate
an
anywhere?
elaborate ploy
Well,
where
she
he
can't,
gets
can she?
set back up.
Yeah.
She can now,
those,
yeah.
and
Okay,
then
well,
the
she
Calidus
consolidated with it.
Sorry, we've
overwatches
got a
the
rules
guilty.
question here.
No,
So
she would have consolidated at the end of her fight phase.
she would have consolidated immediately after she'd fought.
So she wouldn't be able to then.
Okay.
She can't consolidate.
So can he consolidate?
He's
You
already,
can-
that's the closest one.
Yeah.
You can
So
only-
he'd
yes.
have to come this way.
Yeah.
That's correct.
So
I don't need
she
to
can
do
still.
No, she's
still
attacked.
Consolidate.
No, but she's
Yeah,
attacked
I did it
first.
wrong order.
Okay.
So that
Huh?
was a
Fair enough.
So I did it
yeah.
wrong order, didn't
And then
Okay,
on a
that's
2 up, he gets
interesting
back up.
choice of activations.
Don't
He gets
think
back
that
up.
was the thought about it.
Calidus didn't kill him then, no.
No.
Rex
So-
killed him.
The interesting question here is he could actually
hasn't moved, has she?
respawn on that objective.
No, because he was
Well,
there.
he
and she
has,
was there.
he has to be
So
as
he's gonna end up
close as
closer than he
possible
was-
to where
as
he
close as
was
possible to
out
where he
of
was there.
engagement range.
And there you go. Look at that. Bloody hell.
Yeah, it's a bad,
And he's on 3 wounds.
yeah, a pretty big mistake there again to just give 5
end of
primary.
turn.
That's a 10 primary swing now.
You got
In
marked for
this
death.
game.
You got
What
assassinate. You
happened?
got a
And
little
that's the
mark for
difference
death.
between
You
the
got his
two.
gamma unit.
Okay, Harry, the players are talking to me. Sorry, Ben. So you got a little mark for death for
2
2,
points, and then
Yeah.
you got an assassination for 5.
for 5, which is 7, which takes him to 56 total, by
Um,
my reckoning.
I get a challenger card,
Rich has a challenger card,
and
yeah.
it's random, and it's Harbored Power.
Harbored Power. You do actually draw that at the start of the
No,
battle round.
Nope, you draw it at the start of your turn.
Do you?
Yep.
Is that right?
Yep.
Okay.
I think you decide at the beginning of the battle round, don't you? And then you draw it. you
Okay,
know.
I get you.
It tells you that when you're there,
Does it
but
on
the pack for the
Yeah,
thing
you
says at
draw
the
it
start of
on
your
the
turn.
player's turn. when they're
Harbored
eligible.
Power.
So we're going to turn 4. And Rich, what are your secondaries, please?
Just trying to find
He
Harbored
does get
Power.
5 primary
There it
now
is.
as well if he passes that battle
Secondaries. Random.
Like he's not
Area
blown half,
denial,
doesn't
mark
he,
for
too?
death.
You got marked for death,
An area denial.
marked, and area. Oh. Interesting.
Harbored Power. Control an objective marker for one VP, up to maximum of 3.
Yeah.
Or your shooting phase of your fight phase. 1 unit from your army that has not been selected to shoot this phase. I'll have hazardous, but I get lethal or sustained 1.
Okay, so you can add sustain to your lethal hits and
Yes.
shooting for 1 unit.
Yes.
Or take 3 points, or 1 point per objective
It's
held.
how many I can get on objective wise.
Not easy to get, actually, because there's a lot of OC on these points right now.
Okay, and then primary.
No, but he does pick
I
up 5
just
primary.
have 5
which is
for the Lord of
pretty
Contagion.
big.
Yeah.
I don't hold more.
It could have been a
So
0.
you do have 1, so 5, 45, yeah.
And then marked for death and area denial. So area denial is they die
Just staying in it.
and
Just
be
staying
within
in
3
it.
of the centre. They die and be within 3 of the centre. Now what's the biggest problem here?
So it's 56-45 to Simon at the moment.
That's got to go.
Yeah, I think Rich could pick up another 6 or 7 secondary here minimum. And it's not beyond the realms of possibility he then wins the game in turn 5.
one
I think if
CP.
he does, Simon will kick himself.
I'm picking my mark for death. Right? You got mark for death, haven't you?
Marked for death, yeah,
Yeah.
pick 3.
I pick 3, and then you pick 1, is it?
Yeah,
The one at the back here.
yeah.
This one here.
There's going to be a hide to protect these now.
And
Put it back there a second until you make your decision because I might change what I do.
yeah. What's his attacks?
5 attacks, hitting on 2s, lethal, strength
Yeah.
9, minus
How
2,
many attacks is that?
5.
I'll pick the Calidus.
The Calidus. And then
I was gone for the Calidus.
I will pick that one.
We're marked for death.
How many wounds is the Calidus?
24, something
4.
like that, isn't
Okay.
You can probably deal with
yeah,
that
I'll
with a
pick
flame,
this
hasn't
one.
he? I think he got 2 flamers, I think, that champion, or at
And
least
so it's
1.
this, that, and the Calidus, yeah?
Yep.
Wait, Simon's picked the Calidus.
He has.
Oh, I presumed that was the Omega selection from Rich.
Nope. We've got 40 minutes left, gentlemen, and we're in turn 4. Just to let you know.
They're both starting to get a little low on assets now. It's going to be the first time in the game where Simon can't just step forward and deny the primary as well, because Rich will score at the end of the turn. So this game could still flip. It's well that 10-point swing.
I think it will.
I think Rich could just. It might be. I don't know if he can get the 6-7 points for the win, but I don't see a world where he doesn't get within 6 points at this moment in time.
Yeah.
I just think with strong secondary scoring now, the challenger card for the extra 3. We probably should go into. I mean, Rich could go into round 5 a point or 2 ahead.
Yeah. I think. I can't say too much sitting here, but you know it's it's tight. There's some big decisions here.
It's. I think Rich needs
some great
to push
Warhammer.
out, and he needs to go out, push out now. He needs to get himself in the but he doesn't need to commit everything. What he needs to do is put his drones in a position where someone's going to struggle to get line of sight on them.
This geezer.
Just get in a place where you can go and stick 6 OC on an objective,
Throw a grenade.
pick up an armager, hopefully, score your primary.
4 ups.
I mean, he's definitely got enough to pick up 10 turn 5. And as it stands, he might be able to put Simon down to 5.
I don't know about that, but oh yeah. I think it's possible.
I think these, unless he might already have moved the match. I was going to say, I think the Death Shroud that are lurking might be able to push on to the armager at the bottom. But I think he's already moved them. So
I think he has. Yeah. I think this is the go. This is the time to take risks.
Right. This one.
I think that's past.
yeah, I mean, 100%. If that
Where he was,
Shroud ends up charging the Canada's, Rex is intervening.
We'll go with
100%
Melter,
at the time.
We'll go with the frag missile, which is just going to be -1
just to pick up
AP
your
on the flag, I
primary.
think. That's only because of contagion as well. So you're in 12 for the bile spurt. 1, 2, 3. Hits on freeze. 1 lethal hit. -1 and 1 damage on her.
-1
And 1 damage.
What is she?
Bet you wish you had a reactive move right now.
Oh, she's 4 up in the bench.
Fine. D6. Blast. Doesn't matter. 1, 2, 3,
It's
4,
the invuln.
5, 6. Freeze. Oh my god.
She is low knock as well. I think only 1 groan. Oh, the rest
3
can't steer
toughness.
anyway. So
Yeah, so
Probably
Blight Hauler there next to the
Toughness 4.
objective.
I mean, if he can survive this,
No, I needed a 4.
she is
No,
pretty
you did 3
tasty
now
with her
anyway, so
fights
yeah, that's
first.
gone through -1.
4 up in full.
1 damage. And then the melter. 1 hit. 1 wound. Minus on your invuln.
Calidus lives.
That's big.
Okay. He's going to shoot at Rex.
There's nothing else
missile.
left to shoot her now.
Hits. It'll be 5s to 4s. 1 minus.
I mean, she
3,
is
because but
what,
minus
5
2 with
attack
cover.
lethal hits on 2s.
Yeah, minus 2 with cover.
-4, 2 damage. If you could pick him up
D6
if
damage.
he charges her.
3.
So you go
2. Melter. 1 lethal hit and be 5s to 4s. So you've got 2 on your invuln again.
Who's this into?
What's going on now, Rich?
This hauler is shooting at Rex.
Oh, it's at
He's
Rex.
not in melter range, so it's just 2d6.
So I think I'd probably can have a debrief with Simon at the
9
end. He seems to have completely forgotten Knight's only other stratagem, which is Iron Shields. Because he's got 2 CP and a 3 strat on Rex every turn.
So
I
you
don't
think-
think he's used it in this
Sounds
game.
No, he hasn't. No, this is something you should, it'd be a good wash up. Call,
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
at this point, I mean, he's not gonna kill
Typhus
Rex
is
with this,
gonna
but he
do
just
his
potentially
ability on
could be
these things
taking
here.
This damage. I mean,
For
Rex can
d6
fight on
mortals.
death with a
Oops.
CP, 1 CP with his
For
his
2
ability. He
mortals
gets to fight on death,
into
so
here.
he's safe if that makes
2
sense.
mortals on
He,
them.
he couldn't afford to use it here.
And then they're going to flame that last one. He's going to shoot. He's going to do his 1-shot anti-infantry 2+. Doesn't do it. Then they can't do it. Okay, that's fine. I need that
So
fairy,
that
don't
one
I? But
sister
that's no problem.
surviving does give Rich problems now because he's going to have to.
He is going to point at this.
He probably doesn't have to
Until-
worry till next turn.
No,
actually.
the rest
He
of the
doesn't
army to
need
do better.
push out and deal
This is
with
going
it.
to shoot first.
Although say it
Or is
because
it?
he doesn't own the objective.
Yes, that'll shoot first. D6 plus 3.
Just intrigued to see what happens with this Calidus interaction now
We'll do
because
them as well. So drop that
if
one.
I'm
That's a
honest, if I'm
lethal.
rich,
Strength 10,
I don't charge her.
T9, so freeze.
the biggest mistake you can make now
So
is
you've got
card
2
Rex or
at
the assassin
minus
with that character.
1,
If
but
he
you get
doesn't-
cover
If he does nothing, Simon
On
doesn't
this
score
side.
primary.
on this guy here. So
2
3 up.
minus.
Can he resist?
If
Fine.
he
Um,
charges,
You're not
need to be
in
with
rapid
Rex.
fire, but 1. Oh no, I get to reroll that
Calidus
one.
maybe fights first
Doesn't
and
the
does it
1
herself,
lethal
and
hit
then he
minus
picks up
1
Oh,
10 primary.
off the bolter?
some sabotage of the dice tray here.
So that,
1
that's
damage.
it's been really interesting. Can Rich resist the urge to charge the assassin?
And then
Because maybe it was a
bolter.
master plan by Simon. to mark
I
him
only
for
get
death.
through.
Maybe.
So 2.
Maybe Rich will go for the 5 just to give up 5. Let's see.
Strength 5, so they don't go through. But he now doesn't get cover.
I'm looking up my data sheet for
This one's gonna
keywords
shoot
right
at
now on that
him.
character. That's all I'm gonna
Oh
say.
shit, wrong one.
Yeah.
D6 plus 2. 5 plus 2.
And hoping there's a big G in there somewhere.
I'll reroll them.
Yeah, I think you're hoping for a big tank shot
These
charge from the
are
hauler as
strength
well,
10,
maybe.
so
Just to
freeze.
really.
Drop 1.
But
So
the
we've
risk
got
is,
5
listen,
at
if anything
minus
moves
3.
there, Rex should pounce.
Oh, no.
Hmm?
Which one? 5 at minus 3, so
5 ups. 3 each. So 12.
Cool. That drone just popped off. 12 wounds into the armature there. Just needs the 1 feel no pain.
Holy
you get-
moly.
Save
Save
4,
four.
so 8.
8.
Next one.
8 go through.
For 4. Plus 2.
Yeah. Again, and I don't like to keep going on about it, but another.
And they all
again,
wound,
where-
so 6
I
at
just
minus
get frustrated
6 on your
because it's
invuln.
attacking the dice.
Same guy.
Like,
same fella.
6, yeah, same fella.
sorry, Ben.
Yeah, just another big one. Iron Shields is the difference between living there
3
um,
go for it.
and picking up 5
Just
primary
roll that
again.
3 times.
He's dead.
Yeah.
He's got 3 left.
Just been a
Oh,
few-
it's quite frustrating because
Does he
there's
blow?
so much CP floating around.
Yeah,
He does.
there's a few big
D3
swings
on
here.
me.
Just remind me, is
And I get 2
shield
feel no
strike,
pain.
is that until the end of the phase, or is that
1, I
against
feel
one
1, and then
attack?
on yourself.
Yeah, so it gives that unit
1 on
4
him.
up invuln. It's unlike it wasn't
he's
affected
down
by the
to
armor
gr-
temp change or anything. So it just gives that unit a 4 up invuln for the whole shooting phase.
And this last one is going to
That's
shoot at
amazing,
Rex.
Those drones can literally see 1 target. So
6.
Yeah.
you you just stick the 4 up on it.
I don't get rerolls this
It
time.
lives, and that's the difference there between another 5 primary.
1 lethal.
That unit
Strength 10, T11s are 5s. So you've got 3 at -3, but you get cover, so it's a 5 up in run anyway. 3 each.
Right.
What's he down to?
He's down to. He's on 13.
Yeah, 'cause I mean, Rex is taking a beating now.
Okay.
Well, he only needs to live one more turn. Oh, he's a big primary denier as well, isn't he?
So shooting's done. Charges?
Charge phase.
I'm just saying a little prayer to
I have
Nurgle.
one.
that Rich,
Who's charging where, Rich? Point it out.
Rich does
I'm coming
not
across
charge
here with
assassin.
this.
Okay.
A 5-inch charge.
5-inch charge.
Round her. Can you get round her with 5?
8.
Can you get round her with 5?
I mean, he may as well. He doesn't lose anything here.
Oh,
He's
you're
not
going back that
behind
way?
the objective.
Right. Okay. Sorry.
Oh,
Deal
that
with another
beast goes through
2
walls if
OC
it goes that way. Beast
Simon
can go through
use
walls.
to stick on the objective. So I think a decent move.
He's charging the Calidus.
Oh no, he has done it.
Uh-oh.
Now, will Simon intervene? Please, Simon, intervene.
Got it.
Please, intervene.
Gonna go over there where the Calidus is first.
No.
Wow.
How many wounds is she on?
Got one
Calidus does have fights first, so I don't think they've realised that.
Calidus does have fights first.
Does she now?
She's got 5 first.
Okay.
She will get to swim
I'd actually
first. Has Rich
Sorry,
I got me
What
little.
are you doing? Sorry.
No.
I got my little marked for death anyway. That's for me big mark for death. But you
Yeah,
you get to
yeah.
fight first then.
Yeah. I was wondering if you're going to do a charge thingy.
Rich
Oh.
giving me side
Oh.
eye there, but
I got no
you've
CP.
got to know about. You've got to know about the.
Hey, Simon's already forgotten his straps all game and not intervened.
You
when
got-
the stat
you
got like a
5
charge.
points, so
Simon's
what
not
was it?
spent any
Yeah,
CP
I got
in
no
this
CP.
game, it feels like. I think Simon's forgotten half of his stratagems, unfortunately. So I was happy to intervene there and say that there was a fight
well, I
first.
think
Well, I'm keeping 2 for the fight on death.
they all hit.
2s, yeah. So
It's got a
5
lethal
into
there as well.
7, 5s.
But you know Rex gives you a free CP as well.
I do now, yeah. Yeah, I do. Yeah. So, no,
Right, just
nothing.
remind him of his rules.
Nothing?
It's
No.
too late.
I'll go here then first. D6 plus 2
Yeah, I mean,
for 3.
He was saving it for a fight and death, Barry.
2.
The 2 CP.
yes, but Rex only needs
And
1
hits
for
on
that
for
because he gets a free
3
strap,
here.
which makes it 1. It reduces strap by 1.
Wounds
So,
on 2.
um,
2 minus 2 here.
yeah, I mean, but this is what's great about having this
So
opportunity to watch
5.
these streams. I think for Simon, the ability to
Yeah.
watch back and realise
then
that as he
2,
starts to
4,
play and
6,
improves his
7,
game, that's 15 points.
8,
There's
9,
15
10.
points now that he's
I'm
lost
going with this
out
sweet profile.
on.
Hits on 2.
In this game or not?
Yeah.
Drop
And-
1.
1 CP.
And as he
One
yeah,
lethal.
and as he starts to
And
correct those
wounds
and play and
on
get more reps, he'll see his game
T
move
what?
forward at quite a
She's
fast
tough.
pace.
She's
so,
T3.
So she's T3.
She's
I've
2,
seen-
2 now.
To be
isn't
honest,
So
I'm quite
CP2.
encouraged because I've seen some good movement, I've seen some good placement, I've seen some good layering.
1,
Some
2,
good
3,
target
4, 5,
selection.
6, 7.
It's just the next stage.
Minus 2.
That's what's missing.
the
yeah,
Calidus.
it's
7 on the
movement.
invulns,
If you, all 3 mistakes have been down to movement, and I think
She
to
did.
coin your phrase, Josh, it's movement that wins you games.
Yeah.
It is so big in
I'll
40K
stay where I am,
this
pal.
current edition.
Yeah.
Well, it's the only thing you don't have to roll the dice for.
End of turn.
Exactly, yeah. That the pile into
Oh,
the middle.
I'm being
the,
I'm being told to wake up and.
So harboured power. I scored the 3 points.
Uh-oh, hang on. I've accidentally signed out of the score sheet. This alcohol is quite it's quite detrimental to streaming actually. Oh no. Oh jeez. Oh
Completed
god.
dug-in mission
I'm
for
glad
3
I installed that
objectives.
keylogger so I can track your
So I have
password.
1, 2,
as well,
3.
so-
Is that your
Fucking
I have
hell,
marked
hang
for death.
on.
is that your challenger card?
Stay home. You did you pick up the assassin? So we
Yeah.
know he's got that.
So I got 3 for the challenger card.
Yeah,
I got 5 for mark for death,
yeah.
and I got 5 from area of denial.
Great. You're gonna have to tell me that again in exactly 2 seconds because I'm just trying to do some technical
You're gonna have
stuff.
to go. You're gonna have to go wake Taylor up now to get your.
Oh, for God's
Let's
sake!
not pretend you put your own.
Oh, we don't have
authentication
lot.
code
We've
to
only
it.
got one.
I have a woman for that. Here we go. Taylor. Okay, thank you. Rich, where were we?
I got 3 for Harboured Power for the challenger card.
Okay, so I'm gonna put you on. You got Harbored Power, nice.
I got 5 for mark for death,
5.
and I got 5 for area of denial.
No. Is the immolator not within 6?
Nope.
Of the
Oh.
centre.
Yeah.
It was before, but
It-
he did move it. The hot dice dot.
There.
Yeah.
6 is there. He's not in.
He's not. It's a big 5, so that's 58. So that puts you
10-10.
even Stevens
10
going
10
into
going
turn
into turn 5,
5.
pal.
Rich won't mind me saying that
So
he's
primary, you have 1.
He's got away with one
Hidden
tonight.
supplies, you have 1. And ammunitions, he has
Stuff,
5
stuff
on
that
hidden
dreams are
supplies.
made of for Nurgle.
So he's sorry. Imperial Knights are going to bring in a big 5 for their primary in the last turn.
Draw.
And what are your
To extend
secondaries?
battle lines and no prisoners.
Extenders
No
big.
business. Kill some shit, man.
Yeah.
It's only worth 4 now. And no prisoners. Kill lots of shit. And make sure the primary... So Rich is going to be scoring primary at the end of his next turn, so he's got the ability to move and score primaries.
You're gonna
He's,
pick
he's
it out
looking
in
healthy.
your turn.
Hmm?
So you're gonna
Yeah, I
pick it
mean,
in your turn.
Simon should
What,
put 11
you
more
go
on the
for
board.
3?
Sorry, 8 more on the board. He should be able to pick up both of these secondaries. He really needs
This is,
to
this
move
is what, another one of them
carefully
missions
here
where
and
going second fucking matters.
get some denial. If Rex goes and picks up both those units, can Rex straddle on both those objectives is my query. If you position him right, can he sit on both? If he can, that's pretty big, because he can then pick up 2 and probably keep those 2 safe. The Helvrins then move on the middle, because if he can put Rich down to 10, he's got a chance of the draw.
He's playing for the draw. Look at the concentration on that
But-
face.
But I do think, I do think that
What
in
goodness,
a
okay.
strange, the game has somehow got away from him.
Extend, you've already got. No
Yeah,
prisoners
yeah.
is it 1, 2, and 3 units? Is it kill 3 units for max
I think
no
he
prisoners?
probably should
Or
be
is it 2
sitting
units?
on about a 15-point lead at this moment in time.
3 units.
He's sitting on 3 CP, technically 4 with Rex. You can't take him home with you, Simon.
No. Right.
I mean, at this point, there's a few things, and again, the knights don't. The stratagems knights have are that Squire's Duty and Shields tends to be the ones that are commonly used. The fight on death is brilliant, but he's not really been in danger of needing that in this game. I'd be tempted maybe to use Shoulder the Burden on Rex here. Drops CP, puts Rex to T13, extra inch movement, extra attack, extra armor save, puts him to a 2 up until the end of the command phase.
Yeah, that's a good move.
Doesn't make it just makes perfect sense to use that to make Rex really difficult to take down next turn. And these are some of the things that can really take your play on knights to another level when you utilize these strats. And he's got the CP, so that would be a good move right about now, just to try and keep Rex alive.
It's this point in time
Because
I start reading my codex again, in case I've forgotten. I've forgotten how this army works.
Yeah, I mean, Rex is 100% going to take like 4 drones to the face in a minute. So that T13 is tasty into some of the strength 6 weapons. The strength it's nice for the 2 up in cover would be beautiful.
Not currently getting a cover save then.
Struggle. Not to the hauler, so it's just a question of can he. It's difficult to tell from this angle whether he can move Rex to sit on both objectives. That would be nice if he could. The Emanator's not really been able to do much here. I mean, now it really needs to come out and take cover off one of those drones so Rex can pop it as well.
I'm just trying to work out my OC. Rex is going to die.
Just trying to see here. I think I would probably move him this way, do that, and then end up sitting somewhere around here.
Yeah, get out of line of sight.
That's the safest way to be.
The problem he has is he has nothing in position to really engage with the spawn on the bottom objective, and I said this 2 turns ago. Those spawn now have achieved legendary status. They've now put 20 points. They've put 20 points on the board just themselves. Those 2 spawn haven't moved all game. Keep picking up. They're going to pick up another 5 primary. Spawn on the middle for 5. And as it stands, he needs to get Rex onto that top objective to stop that hauler just stepping on for the 15. Because having, well, as it stands at the moment, 8, 16, 18, having 28 OC on the middle objective isn't really achieving much.
What was your other secondary? Extend and
No prisoners.
no prisoners, so you can kill something. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I probably would have recycled extend as well. You've got 3 CP in the bank.
Really? It's a guaranteed 4 points.
They can advance and.
He's not currently. Oh, it's extend. Sorry, not engage.
Like, don't tell me you roll a 1 again. Thank fuck for that. They actually want to move
it says extend and no prisoners. So no prisoners he'll pick up before, but I just don't. 69 points, while a lovely number, is not going to be enough to. I think potentially it's going to. I don't think Simon in his life would ever thought he'd achieve a 69 and be disappointed.
No
So
prisoners.
that's probably what's coming, unfortunately. Rich picks up the 15 on primary. Puts him on 73. He just needs a couple of points on secondary then to snatch the 11-9, which I think is probably the most realistic outcome now.
I've got to put turn 5 on there.
Alright. Right, he's going to shoot at.
Mr. Spawn?
Yeah.
Everything?
Everything.
I'm hoping he's not shooting that spawn right in front of him.
With who's shooting what now?
This guy's shooting at me spawn.
Yeah.
Okay.
9 into.
Again, probably needed the
Into
charge
7.
there just to get the 8 OC onto the objective.
2.
Yeah, good shout.
At least make those Terminators come out and
2.
attack it, and if they bounce, you roll the invons, you get the 1 on the field, you get 1 to feel no pain.
That's 1 no prisoner.
You deny the primary. He's got to do everything he can now to deny the primary. But unfortunately, killing that spawn has just given Rich 5 points. So he's scored 2, but realistically, he's given up 5. So it's just not the swing you want at this stage.
Say that I would have probably been going for this fella here. I was gonna. I mean, no prisoners is big, of course, but then you
Right, so
reduce the damage output. So.
Yeah, he's on the objective. He's got anti-fly 2+.
What are these tips?
He shoots,
T9.
charges the spawn,
10 wounds.
maybe
Right,
stays
so
alive
he's
and,
gonna shoot at
denies
this
the
one here.
primary, and that's what's big at this stage.
He's not flyer, by the way.
Can you see? You can't see him.
him.
You can't see this. He's a flyer, you can't see him.
You can.
Can see him, yeah? Over the top? I'd say you can see him over the top of there, mate. Yeah.
Okay. He's touching the
Oh, no.
tree.
Oh, you mean this guy?
That one,
No,
yeah.
no, 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 no.
He shot already, he shot at him.
That.
Oh, that one can.
Alright, shoot at him.
I'd say there's a line of sight there. Hard to say.
And it'll be strength 9.
You think so? He's wholly within, so he can shoot.
So that is 6.
Is this into the Blight Hauler?
6.
Just sitting here.
Minus
this one.
1.
Yeah.
Just picking
I
up the assets.
do or don't get cover. Where's he shooting from?
I mean, I'm pretty sure Rex will go and deal with those
Is
two
he-
at the top there.
He's got his line of sight for
He's shooting through here, and so
Yeah,
I just
I'd-
worked on 30.
I will get cover, so it'll be a free up.
I mean, I think probably one of the most
On 6
interesting
of them,
things
yeah?
in this game is that
Well, I have to- I
we've
have to just be
spoken
able
to
to
Rick
see
a
both
lot
sides
about
of
his
the base,
list,
can't
and a few
So
times
from
we've
this
kind of
side, I
said
can
to
see
him that
both sides of the base, can't I?
yeah,
Yeah,
there's
from
a
where?
defiler in your list. You may as well play
No,
play
that-
with
from
half
this
the
side,
courtyard points
that's
down
fucking-
with the defiler in your list, and I think Rich has actually taken that
They might
literally
do that.
I don't think it's-
and effectively played without the defiler all game anyway.
6.
Yeah. 3 each.
Down to 4.
Okay, I'll do him later now. I'd have done it the other way around if there's no. Is flaming range?
What's a flame immolator?
Yeah. I'm not sure what it is. Actually.
Normally I see those with the multi-melters. The immolators. There's some cheeky melter shots. Twin link melters.
18. So I think that's
8. Strength.
5,
5s. 3.
6 is.
Hmm?
It's 6 is.
Still 5s.
Yeah.
3.
3, yeah?
Yeah.
AP.
-1.
Minus 1. Ignores cover, yeah?
Yeah.
4s. Takes 2.
1 each.
Yep.
Have you got it?
Ooh, fuck me. AP.
-1.
I get cover.
Yeah.
So
How many 6 did I get then? I'd sustain.
3.
Yeah.
Oh no, that was the
That was
wound
damage,
roll.
yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
So he's getting a bit tired.
Takes the 2.
4 damage.
No, they're 1. Are they 2? Is it? Oh, it's the heavy bolter.
Yeah,
2 damage each.
Does he blow?
Heavy Bolter did some work.
Nope.
Got those no prisoner points.
Two
That's,
no
that's
prisoners.
massive.
Next, shooting.
So he's been. Rex now, I guess, isn't it?
Mhm.
So Rex is going to shoot this fella here. What they got? 10 wounds.
I bet it wasn't
What's
the
the
best
number
time
we
for a
got?
battery
10.
swap, was it?
No, sorry, mate. Yeah, it's fine. Actually, the Immolator managed to pick up that Blight Hauler with 3 wounds from the Heavy Bolter going through. So,
6, 4.
Yeah, no, all I heard you say as I left was obviously you'd seen the Emanator taking melters, but I think
3.
no, it's
The
flamers
flamers-
on there.
the,
Yeah.
the flamers are really useful because they're 18-inch range as well, so it just
Mm.
gives you that naughty little Overwatch threat.
2 sustain.
Yeah.
So 14 into 3s.
Yeah.
So 4 at -3.
5 up.
Is this Rex, yeah?
Takes 3 damage.
4 each.
4, 8, 12. Does he blow?
So he's got his no prisoners. He's got his max on no, prisoners.
done.
He's got his 3 units.
Right, charging there.
Here's the big
No
charges.
prisoners. The max, and then you've got extend anyway.
Yeah.
For 4.
Score those in quick. Not going to put
Rex is
them
going
to
to
the
charge
total
into
yet.
him.
Here goes Rexicus.
Another one.
He's in.
9. It's a big charge.
So he's going to. He can't get all around, can he? He's just going to stab there. He's going to do a tank shock.
Remember the tank shock this time?
It'd be 12
what is
dice.
each
12 dice, yeah. 5s and 6s. 1, 2, 3, dead.
Sorry, Ben. It sounds like if you're talking, we can't hear you.
No, it's fine. My headphones now ran out of
Need to
battery.
consolidate as well.
Yeah.
So I'm just having one of those evenings tonight.
Towards the objective or
I
not?
don't know if you-
Would you or wouldn't
Scores
you?
on the doors is 4 for extend and 5 for no prisoners.
So I'm going to toss it up. You're on 70 there, Simon, at the top of your turn 5. Now it's on Rich to see if he can catch you up.
Go to 2.
We're going to turn 5. So,
Random.
what are your 2 secondaries, please?
Recover and no prisoners.
Oh, recover. It's a beautiful one. But you can't get into the deployment. And what was the other one?
No prisoners.
No prisoners. Well, I had a sneaking feeling that Simon was moving those sisters into the back corner in case Rich
No,
drew no
they're
prisoners.
not in the corner, they're in that.
Oh, are they? Okay, that's awesome. Okay. That's a good move. Because you kill that immolator, they get out. Recover and no prisoners. Sitting on 2
They're
CP.
on there. I forgot me fucking mortals last turn as well.
Yeah, you did, Rich. Rich is, as far as I can tell, only done his mortals once this game.
Yeah, both. I think the pressure of steam has got to both of them this evening in terms of remembering their rules. Can you hear me clearly again now?
Well, I can hear you.
Wonderful. So
blow
I'll
me
switch
out
back
here.
Switch back to a different headset. So,
So Rich is
Yeah,
going to score
I think-
primary at the end of this turn. He's got recover and no prisoners. So he's got a 12 points differential.
yeah, so he needs to put
But he needs to get
18
18.
18
Yeah.
on the board
to
for
win.
the win. I
I
think,
Well,
yeah,
I can only get 10
this is a
on
good example.
primary
You put that 10-15 on that Simon could have picked up, and it's
on a small
win.
recover asset.
so definitely doable
Is
for Rich here.
worth 3 points. So what other missions do I have?
He's going to look at redrawing. Recover is only going to be 3. No prisoners.
I'm going to discard
Dicey.
recover.
He's getting rid of recover,
Discard
which means I have to retype that.
recover, and I
And to
get
the United War Games, yes, we're managing the score table manually at the moment.
extend battle lines.
We do have a
So
brand
no
new
prisoners and extend, which is identical to yours.
scoring dashboard.
We
It just
do.
wasn't ready for this evening.
Right then, shoot. 'em.
Perhaps
we
it was,
blame
but
we blame that on the BT man who turned up at 6 o'clock to
maybe
put
3.
the internet in.
These-
So if
Surely.
you're listening, Steve,
poor Steve. He's blamed for everything.
he was trimming his beard, unfortunately, so he turned up late.
Well, it must be hard managing a
Typhus
beer
will
that you have to
advance.
trim 5 times a
to
day.
5. Typhus goes to 10.
Indeed, yes, it is a sight for sore eyes. I mean, I've seen the amount he spends on beard oil. It's probably only close to some of the people at the club's Warhammer spend. So,
Well,
pretty significant sum.
I've heard a rumour, although I'm not sure what to believe, to be honest. But to afford his beard oil habit, he has have to circumnavigate some of the sanctions that have been imposed on Iran. So I think he's trying to stay under the under the radar. To
It
be
is
honest.
significant. So this will be a really good test for Rich here. Is can he remain calm, focused, put the points on the board? Extend is an easy 5. No
Okay,
prisoners
shooting.
is a bit more tricky, but he probably has the output with those drones in the shroud to pick up the immolator, pick up the armager.
Typhus is going
Pick
to do
up
his
4.
ability into.
Puts him on 67.
Yeah.
What's that ability?
No, it's not. He's going to do his
and then 10 on the primary
Okay.
gets him the win.
Onto the immolator.
So it is in his hands. He
Nope,
probably
I
should pick
take
up a win by a
D3
point here.
I take 2. Fucking typhus. Fucking horrible cunt. Lord of Virulence is going to shoot and crew.
He'd probably love that Defiler to be charging the mid-border right now.
They're going to empty everything into here.
What's your EP?
AP be 2 off him and 1 off these.
2.
I do think, looking at the score, that the
Ignoring cover.
second kill on no prisoners is what takes it from a draw to a win for Rich. So it's pretty big.
Anything?
No, go on.
The Death Shroud
This phase.
for 10, 12. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is going to want 6s re-rolling because he lets them.
Simon's maintained his tradition of always having 3 CP available.
Yeah, well, you know, it's a
So you've
safety
got
net.
3 at -1.
Here we go.
Is he going to Iron Shields?
Oh my god.
Who needs Iron Shields? Just roll
Really
5 and
gets
6s.
shot. Which hits. -2.
1.
Yeah.
1 off.
1 damage. Down to shit. He's going to point at Rex.
Has Simon killed Rich's Warlord as well?
Simon,
interesting.
who's your warlord, Rich?
Typhus.
Typhus, so no, he's still alive.
He's going to point at Rex and tell these to do better.
Yeah.
So there's 3. This one.
Good point.
This one
Good
first.
point.
No, this one first. 2 plus 2. They all hit. And they want 5s. So you got 1 -2, but -1. Fine. Next one. Fuck's sake. All hit.
Was it not armor save that Rich also put on? Simon
1
for his
-1, but
contagion.
nothing. No, -2, but -1.
It was -1 armor save. for
Yeah.
me, yeah.
Yeah, I think they
Contagion.
seem to have forgotten that for the last couple of
6
turns.
+2.
I think it's getting late, and this is why we call it. There's only a few minutes left now, so it's just we're gonna extend the game just a little bit longer because there's some critical
Reroll
rolls coming
them.
up.
Reroll fucking them.
This is Nick saying Rex only counts for no prisoners if Hector dies. I don't think that's true, Nick. Sorry.
Two.
It is true.
1.
Rex does
you have
not
to
count
kill
as
them.
being
2
destroyed
minus
while Hector is on the
1,
table.
but -2, but -1.
2.
Hi United
Wait,
Wargamer,
4 up.
always
6
interested in
damage.
having a look at that. Thanks for getting in touch.
Yeah, no,
was the last
Nick makes a
fucking
really important point. It does specify on
Everyone.
Sir Hector and Rex's unit card that Rex
Extend
does not
battle
count as
lines,
being
I'm gonna
destroyed
get-
until Hector is destroyed.
No prison.
That
You
is
don't score-
horrific.
Yes, it was.
You don't
especially
score
the reroll.
assassinate, you don't
Three-
score
three
bring
damage each.
bring it down, you
Oh,
don't
is it?
score
That's brutal.
assassinate,
I'm not going to get no
and you don't
prisoners.
score no
That
prisoners.
doesn't-
And
that doesn't
Rex
matter
is also a
anymore.
low knot, so he disembarks 3 inches
Right. I think he gets out.
and keeps himself out of trouble.
He's down.
Won me a
Is he?
game at
Oh,
Manchester
shit.
GT
He was
that did.
just rolling
I
for
bet it did.
Rex-
Yeah.
I would be
Rex
raging if
got-
someone pulled that shit on me.
Hector jumped out behind the wall.
I love
Beautiful.
that. No wonder
Denied
everyone takes it.
assassinate, denied bring it down. 11 points off the board. Beautiful it was.
I'm sure it
Do I
was.
get
but
no
For
prisoners
one,
for
for
that?
one of
You
us
don't.
anyway. One of us enjoyed it, yeah.
You don't.
Oh,
Rich
shit.
just asking if you get no prisoners because Hector gets out. You don't count as kill. Ben was just telling the audience
No,
how
he does
how
not
he
count
enjoys
as
this
being
little trick.
destroyed.
you have to kill that little bastard who gets out.
Okay,
He's
so
low knot
now I've
as
got to charge.
Is he
It says
actually?
on here. It says on
Yeah, he is a low knot.
Now I.
So
So you
horrible.
can now.
I'm just going to charge. into
So
there.
yeah, so he
Fuck's sake,
doesn't actually
that's
get the
screwed now.
no prisoners for that.
3,
Well, he's gonna get one now,
5.
and he's gonna get the. Oh, because Hector gets out, he's still sitting on that objective as well.
Yeah, but obviously Simon scored his points now, so
No, I mean for hold more for Rich. Rich is hungry for these hold
yeah,
more now.
yeah.
I don't think he's gonna struggle.
I'll roll. He's the same stats as the other guys.
I mean,
1.
yeah, it's the home objective is sticky, so Simon is still
5
holding
plus
3 at this
4.
point.
+4.
I still think, yeah, with the extend and the 1 kill and no prisoners, it should still be enough.
Strength 8, so wounded on 5s.
No, it won't be. One no prisoners and extend and 10 on primary will put him on 75.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at -3.
Nope.
And then that 3 times. How many is it on?
There we
So
go.
that's 3 times.
Big saves.
Huh?
Should we just say he's dead?
Okay.
You can't rotate in combat, can you?
No, I can't do anything in combat.
No.
So I get 1 no prisoners,
Can fart on death though.
Well, we get the wonks.
It's
So Hector.
one.
and
So
then I
that's 2.
get
You get 10 for
70,
primary. Yeah.
74. I have that as.
You've only got 5 primary,
Hmm?
You've only got 5 primary. You haven't got anyone on the centre.
Oh, shit, and I haven't.
Well, they can.
Oh wow! He's not put
They
anything
can
on the objective.
consolidate, but
When
it
you-
would be to the closest. That one,
Model by model basis. Yeah.
model by model basis. So that one gets to go there then, and that one would
Yeah,
have to go that
that's,
way.
But you have to be in.
But then that one, yeah, then you just go there to keep coherency.
okay. Rich nearly cost himself a point a
1, 2,
game there.
I know.
So
I'm not saying anything.
I genuinely, that's it.
I mean, I think it ends 74-70 to Rich. So I think after that, draw is
74
probably,
to Rich
And 70 to
and
Sam.
70 to Simon.
Full game.
So shake it out, lads. That was intense. That was one hell of a game. Why don't you go stand over there, guys, and we'll do a bit of a wash up. I'm just going to give Ben some final game thoughts there while I do the transfer of where all the order is going. How do you think that went, Ben, overall?
I think overall a draw was probably a fair result. I think both players, they say as the night went on, more and more rules seemed to
That's a
out
feel
the,
good draw, isn't it?
go out the window there. So I think a draw is fair. I think Simon and Rich will both watch the game back and realise there were opportunities to take the game, and that's the benefit of these being available. I'd love to be able to go back and watch the games I played like this and realise where I can improve, what I can change.
Yeah.
There's a few
So I think that's useful. And I think both players,
used their
both had their moments where they pulled some
what you're using that
clever moves, and both had the moments where they made charges
Yeah.
they probably regretted. So good game to watch.
I agree. So guys, thank you very much for that. So you should really slap yourselves on the back, because I think that was going one way or the other every round. It was a hell of a close game. I think the predictions going into it from the chat, broadly speaking, 11-9 to Death Guard. That was the prediction for everybody.
That wasn't my prediction. My prediction was a win to Simon.
Well, it was 2 points off being 11-9 to Death Guard. There was a few critical junctions there. I think, Simon, if you watch that back, you'll look at it and kick yourself a couple of times where you missed on a couple of strats that would really help you, and you were sitting on 3 CP at the end. You didn't use your free strat on Rex once. Again, big things like could have been tank shocks, could have been heroics, could have been this, could have been that.
Beauty of the league is at the end of it, you'll have a better grasp of knights.
There wasn't much opportunity. I don't know. Looking back, probably think different about it. But
Yeah.
his rolls seemed to kind of be. I was contemplating re-rolling his attacks, but it was like 3. I could get a 1. That kind of thing. I did tank shock for 3.
Yeah, but there was a couple of you could have done it the first time, killed the contagion in the charge phase,
Yeah.
and then he'd got back up, and then you could have piled into
Yeah.
him,
The little
attacked
tricky
him,
views. Yeah.
and then moved on to the objective.
Yeah, I was worried about that. I was like,
The big heroic as well when Rich charged the Calidus. Heroic intervention there.
or even a flame.
Game.
So many, and that was Ben. You noticed that Ben's a veteran of the Knights, and I would encourage you to go back and have a listen to some of the things he's saying about the game. It's really good. And Rich, you played it really well. You applied pressure where it needed to go, but I would say, from my point of view, that Defiler could have been out as distraction card effects. It did nothing.
Yeah, I was.
Really. I guess he was screening for a little bit, but once Simon had to. The horrible thing about your list is, you can bring down those Death Shroud everywhere, but once the armatures are all out, then that Defiler can come out and play a little bit. And even if it's forcing Simon to shoot at that instead of your drones, you know, that's big for you because the drones are really where the damage output is going to be.
Yeah, I mean, I think the big question I have for Rich is, what did he not realise the Sir Hector Canis rule? Because obviously he could have put those drones into, say, the emulator instead.
I think that was on us. We were probably sleepwalking. So he did say, "Did you not realise the Rex Hector rule?" And I would say I didn't fucking know that.
I did, but and then
after
it was afterwards that I've gone, oh shit, I should have shot the freaking immolator. I'd have got an extra no prisoners there.
Yeah.
All right, it's only one more.
Yeah, that 2 points wins. It makes it 11-9.
No, it would have won. It would have won.
Yeah.
One more point would have been a draw.
2
no?
points.
Huh?
2 points.
For another for one more no prisoner.
Yeah, it's 2. So it goes 2-2-1.
Oh sugar! It would have. See,
Yeah.
that's the difference. A mistake like that.
I say just so Rich doesn't feel terrible. There was at least 10 points.
the only way I find
picked
to
up
learn
with
as well.
different pilings and things. So
But
I
as-
think a draw was a fair result.
Yeah, so Ben was saying there's a couple, you know, Simon could have been 15 points ahead on some of the decisions he made about denial, about movement, about heroics, about different things like that. Which again, Simon could go back and look at that. So I wouldn't feel bad about that, Rich. I think you put in a good fight. Looking at that map at the beginning, I was looking at it. I think Death Guard had an uphill struggle.
Yeah.
Because
It is into nights. It's a hard counter for us.
Well, it's interesting because there's your Helverins, the Anti-Fly 2 Plus. If he'd have just focused into tried to get all into your drones, it's game over. Because Rich hasn't got the OC, he hasn't got the damage output into your knights. But that said, I really enjoyed that. It was a really again, you know, on this stream we had some really close games. And I got to say, Ben, you're picking some good ones when it comes to these close games.
It was a really good game there. I think that, as you said, in terms of plus points to the players, it's great to see the more repetitions that the players are getting. The level of skill across the club is increasing week on week. I'd love to see this game again with Simon on New Knights points.
Yeah.
Because that's, I mean, I don't know if he's aware, if he plays that now, he can actually get 12 Armigers and Wrecks in a list.
So yes,
how does that? Yeah.
Ben's desperate to see the new Knights points now and see what would happen. So everyone's saying Death Guard's broken.
focus on that now,
Doesn't
can't
feel
you?
like that now.
Thing is, if I can't OC people, I don't know what they're not going to do the list.
Yeah, the OC capping is massive.
Yeah.
That's going to be a big game changer.
I'm going to have to rethink.
Giving with one hand and taking with the other.
They die quicker though.
Yeah.
They'll die quicker with the T9. I would have been wounded on
For
freeze.
you, potentially, yeah. For most other armies, it might not matter too much. But anyway, thank you very much. It's getting on a bit. I think we've had great engagement on the chat and great viewership all the way through. And it's been I've really enjoyed this. Is one of my favourite streams actually. So thank you very much, Rich. Thanks, Simon. Thanks for playing. I know it's a lot of pressure to play on the stream and everything, and you know, you just want to roll dice and all that shit, but you know,
Go and have a couple of beers, man.
people in the club get to see it. And I'm telling you what, you watch yourself a year ago and you watch yourself today, you're different players. It's impressive. It is impressive.
It was a hard slog, mind. Good game, lad.
Yeah.
Very good
So
game.
I want to take a moment to say thanks to everyone who's watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks to Ben. Fantastic commentating from Ben as usual. Let's hope he's a long-standing member of our commentator team. That's it. Until next time. Thanks, Ben.